place where so many of my dreams have come true.
The Ride with JMV, FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Oh, it's a good Friday. Let's go ahead and dive in. We got a lot of stuff to get to today at a busy show. Mike Wells got a slow jam re-entry ready to go in the 5 o'clock hour from here. Boys action throughout the weekend. Girls regionals coming up tomorrow at various gymnasiums across the state. Talked to Bob about that coming up in the 4 o'clock hour today. Is Don on board today? Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers for Hoosier fans. Yeah, it was a fleeting, 3-4 days of enjoyment after that Saturday win in East Lansing, because last night was not enjoyable. And it's tough. I mean, a lot of people say, well, at least they did this, at least they did that. You still lose. You're losers of 8 of 9, and there you go. There you go. At home to Iowa, which was not as bad as at home to Nebraska, or not as embarrassing at the beginning at home against Michigan, but at home against Iowa. Coming off an overtime win in East Lansing over Michigan State. Yeah. Thursday night game down in Bloomington. Everybody's fired up, and there you go. So, IU recap. Don Fisher's going to join us coming up a little bit later on, too, and we're going to get down to business. Down to business with the questions you would like to have answered. Kevin Pritchard's going to join us, Pacer president. We'll talk about yesterday. We'll talk about the trade deadline. We'll talk about his team, what he has seen after going 0-4 without Vic when he was done for the season with that injury, and then now winning 4 consecutive without Vic after the 4-game losing skid. Make no mistake about it. I mean, the schedule recently has been conducive, but don't go apologizing for it. You want to know why? Because nobody's going to say, well, it'll be okay. I know that your schedule's just a little bit tough in March. It is incredibly difficult in March. Now, I would tell you this. If we were talking about, this last handful of games, we would probably look at this a month or so ago and think, man, this is going to be a tough stretch too, right? I mean, Miami kind of started out all right. Yeah, New Orleans looked completely different over a month ago. The Lakers as well. I mean, hell, the Lakers went on the road last night in Boston and won. Rajon Rondo hit that one from the elbow at the buzzer against his old team. He's got about 5 old teams, but that was his championship-winning old team last night. Lakers get that win. They picked the all-star team. I love how everybody's suggesting that LeBron James picked his all-star team by virtue of guys that he wants to come join him via free agency in L.A. And you know what? I can't dismiss it. There is so much incredible drama going on that I want to call it a soap opera, and I think that would be accurate because soap opera is enjoyable, right? Or it used to, like back in the day, I can't lie. Back in the day, I did watch Days of Our Lives. I loved Hope from Days of Our Lives. I did. And me and all my friends, we would watch it just to hope that Hope was riding on the back of somebody's motorcycle in a low-cut wedding dress. I was just hoping. We were hoping beyond hope that Hope was dressed like that. The soap opera back then was kind of fun. Funny. Of course, we didn't have the availability to watch right now what everybody does. But a soap opera in the NBA is enjoyable for us to laugh at from afar, but it can't be fun. And here's what I'm talking about. Thinking about it from a Lakers standpoint, they really don't have to do much, right? I mean, they're the Lakers. Hey, we got the beach. We have Hollywood. It's Southern California. Oh, yeah, by the way, we have arguably the best player in the history of the NBA, arguably on board now with us. It shouldn't be that hard of a sell. It's not that hard of a sell. All you got to do is kind of sit back and try not to screw it up. But you just got to love the way that it looks like it's being screwed up right now. And not only do you have the allegations of tampering from LeBron James and his standpoint, which he absolutely positively does because he knows he can get away with it. He does. My friend, I want my friends, can you imagine what goes on behind the scenes? Can you imagine? You imagine what goes on in private conversations? Absolutely. And then you had the allegations lobbed at Del Demps in New Orleans about, well, they kind of set the Lakers up, set them up for a trap. Now the Lakers look terrible, and you got dissension in the ranks, and that was all done as payback. It's like some really good soap opera stuff right here. I mean, this would be a really good, I think, soap opera storyline or dialogue if you could come up with it. It's just beyond ridiculous, right? Now it's... Harrison Barnes got traded during the game, and LeBron with his hand, how can you do that? It's this, and I don't understand, and whatever. I never thought, did you guys ever think that it was so incredibly awful to be an NBA player? Because I don't know about you, at 49, it sounds like a blast to me still. It sounds like if there's anything more fun than being an NBA player, well, you know what? You got to travel, and you got to get on planes, and you got to practice, and it looks like still a blast to me. But for a lot of these guys, it's the whole, oh, woe is me kind of stuff that wears you out. So, again, there's always a difference between a good NBA soap opera and a bad one. The bad one is what is going on with you. If it's happening to you or your favorite team, that's the bad one. If it's a good one, logically, it's happening to the Lakers, right? Or maybe happening to the Celtics. And we talk a lot about tampering and how the NBA is going to do something with it. And one of the reasons why I enjoy having Kevin Pritchard on, because we'll talk about the state of the team right now. I don't know as of yet, and I'll have to ask him when he jumps on here, if he's able to talk specifically about Wes Matthews. Because I haven't had clearance yet that he is able to talk specifically, but hey, you got a hillbilly professional sitting right here before you. Serious. So I'll find a way around it. We will find a way around it. What do you think, Tony? So, Kevin, what do you think about Mesli Waslius? I mean, just change the name up or what? We'll find a way professionally to work around it, I promise you. Even if he's not capable, and I'm not sure as a 405. We'll ask him if he's going to be able to. But, again, there are really, really unique and organic ways that we can work around that. And we will when he joins us. And I mentioned the state of the team and talking about the rest of the way. Some of the questions that immediately pop into my mind, the fact that he's going to join us. A year ago, Pacer players went to Kevin Pritchard and said, hey, keep this the way that it is, please. We want to see what we can do with this group. We like this group. And that's what they did, other than, signing somebody a year ago in Trevor Booker that had his contract bought out as well. That's how they stayed. I want to know if any of the present players headed up the office and maybe ask him a similar thing going into the rest of the way here prior to the trade deadline. Kevin Pritchard, we'll talk about that. Get an update on Victor Oladipo. We'll talk about Myles Turner, who had another good night last night. We'll talk about Miles and Domas down the road, because you guys always tell me that there's no way these guys are ever going to be able to play together. So I'm going to go ahead and put it to him right now, which obviously he's not going to come up with an answer, because there is no answer. There might be a thought further down the road, but there's no definitive answer whether or not that's going to take place. I'm going to ask him about that. I'm told all the time there's no way these guys can stay together past 2 years. Can't play them at the same time. Can't pay them both money, blah, blah, whatever. I'm going to ask him. At least at this moment in time, I'm going to try to put that to rest and see what happens. And a lot of other things that you might be curious about regarding the state of the Pacers coming up here at 4:05 in a can't miss. Got to be listening to this. Kevin Pritchard is going to join us. Tony's here. Austin's here. Jared's in the other room. Somebody's going to have to fire up my Fitbit in a little bit. I hope you understand that that's going to be the job criteria for the intern today. The Fitbit. The Fitbit is right there. I get the Fitbit for Christmas. Because, if there's any image of me, it's me being fit. The Fitbit is right over there. It's going to track the
calories in the granola bars you eat every day?
I'm going to have to bring in Blake's remix board and stuff and his DJ equipment to have you guys hook that up too. But Fitbit, Austin's going to have to fire up the Fitbit in a little bit. Just going to have to tell him that's going to be a part of his job as the intern, is to do that. All right, Pacers last night, a win over the Clippers. The Clippers weren't anywhere near what they had been, but again, nobody's apologizing for it, especially the way that you look at the schedule coming up. in the month of March. Nobody's apologizing for it. They beat the Clippers last night. There was a bat loose in Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Tony had some strong video of the bat loose in Bankers Life Fieldhouse that we liked a great deal. Everybody had some, and Quinn Buckner had some good calls on it too, by the way, of the bat being loose. Did they ever get it?
It came back twice.
I saw it twice. They had to stop the game, what, twice?
Twice, yeah.
Because the bat was flying around?
So the guy next to me in my row, who wasn't with me, but he was 3 seats down from me, threw his program in the air, like the free one, and actually hit it.
Hit the
bat.
First
time came around, I said, "Oh man, you're gonna have some people."
You don't want to kill the bat in front of the crowd. You want to down the bat.
Well, who the hell?
You want to bring the bat down.
Who's leaving the door open on the smokers deck, letting that bad boy in?
Is that how it got in on the smokers deck?
That's what I'm gonna go with. I'm sure it got in. Probably downstairs.
Oh, the other delivering something downstairs.
Yeah.
Just probably hanging in one of the garage areas or something, right? Hanging upside down like the damn Lost Boys or something down there.
But I'd rather just say somebody left open the smoker's deck door.
See, I mean, they probably could have got it, but yeah, you don't want to go out there and let's take a swing at it with a baseball bat or something, right? I mean, you got to do it humanely, don't you? You can't just
But you also, I mean, those are some scary moments when there's a damn bat flying towards you. You don't know what it's going to do.
I love bats. You want to know why I love bats?
Gross.
Because in the summertime, they're flying over. They used to fly over the pool all the time. You want to know why? Because bugs are around there. You know what sucks worse than bats? Bugs. Bats get bugs. I dig bats. And I don't want any type of disease from them. I don't want them to bite me. I don't buy into the urban legend of vampire bats or anything like that, but I don't mind bats when they're flying over my place and eating bugs. I wouldn't be killing a bat. You ever had a bat get in your house?
You had one, right?
I had a bird.
Or a bird, okay.
I had a bird get in the house.
Yeah.
Claire the bird.
No, I have not.
Claire built her nest on the light on our entryway, and then one day Lainey left the door open, and Claire decided to go ahead and come in. I was just happy that Claire didn't take dumps all over the house when I tried to get her out. Claire. You got to name the bird, which is awesome. Anyway, a bat was loose last night. Pacers win last night. Get the Cavaliers coming up tomorrow night. That's something we'll talk about. Other college hoops action this weekend. Butler at Georgetown. It seems like Butler owes Georgetown a little bit of something. That's in D.C. tomorrow. Boilermakers and Nebraska coming up. I think Sunday, right? Is that game with Purdue?
Yes.
And Nebraska coming up on Sunday. Interesting down the stretch we come in the month of February in the Big Ten. Really, when you look across the board in college basketball, there's a lot to be interested in. And I love it. Seems like Kansas is fading a little bit. Mm-hmm. That's pretty fun. I like that. And then, obviously, I watched Gonzaga last night beat another WCC team that's not worth the garbage. It's not. They won by 30 last night over San Francisco. And San Francisco was supposed to be kind of good. Now, see, you can't have an Ozzy Osbourne moment, right? You can't.
Oh, boy.
So Ozzy Osbourne, did he do that in the early 80s in Des Moines, Iowa, I believe? Somebody look that up for me. The biting the head off the bat. And as legend suggests, that Oz thought the bat was fake. Clearly until he bit into its head and it wasn't, and it just spurted all over the place. But I believe that was, if my legend accuracy is on it, I believe that was in the early 80s in Des Moines, Iowa. The bat head biting incident from Ozzy. Thank you very much. The net thing was going to work, but last night they couldn't catch it. I guess it's probably still flying around. It may return for the Cleveland game, right?
There's already a Twitter account.
Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome. IU Ohio State coming up on Sunday, too. Tony reminds me of that because IU played last night. Bingo, there you go. What'd you say? Purdue's tomorrow, right? IU and Ohio State's on Sunday.
Yep, Purdue, Nebraska tomorrow night.
Woo, boy. I tell you what, Boilermakers keep it rolling in a Big Ten that in the past week and a half or so with Michigan State is a lot more winnable for them with a team on the roll. That's nice. And as I mentioned, Butler needs a little bit of payback. I think Butler's a little bit of payback. Might be a little bit overdue for Georgetown coming up tomorrow. So we'll discuss that with you at 239-1070. Email address at JMV1070thefan.com. We're on YouTube right now. YouTube is, what is it, JMV channel on YouTube, I think, for us?
Just 1070 The Fan.
1070 The Fan on YouTube for us right now. So you can get me there, and you can see us. You can ask questions. I'll answer those questions. People were saying, what do you think about Wes Matthews coming here? Listen, I don't know how anybody could have an issue with it. I mean, for a team that has lost their guy trying to fill the gap or fill the void that was Victor Oladipo, you're not going to do it. You're not going to completely do it, but you can slide somebody in that has some characteristics of this team, right? Somebody that hopefully can shoot the three. I'm telling you, when this team shoots the three, they offensively are completely different. And that's something else I need to ask Kevin Pritchard. I know that if you shoot the three and you don't make it, everybody views it as a bad shot. But we've all season long wanted to see them utilize it a little bit more. And I guess you can check out the competition if you want and maybe gauge how they played in the past two because of the Lakers and that effort you got early in the week, or the Clippers and what they had to offer last night. But damn, seriously, if you can get these guys to be more consistent from three, and we'll see what happens. What we say yesterday, of the now 27 games remaining after last night, do they make it to 48? They need 12 more wins to make it to 48?
Yep.
12 more wins to make it to 48.
Opponents the rest of the way
Can they
are
not
749 and 710.
Can they not get 12 more wins and make it to 48? Easily? Is easily the wrong thing to say. I would suggest that you can. Listen, you got to be careful for this, too. It's not like that Wes Matthews is going to come in and, well, you know what, you're making completely up for Vic. But, I mean, it should add some punch. And, listen, he plays some defense, too. You know, you move Tyreek Evans back to the bench and not a starter, move some minutes around, and I don't know if you could ask for anything better.
12 opponents
this time of
through
year.
The rest of the way are over 500.
I mean, I can't. Yesterday I came up with 12 that basically would be beating teams that, if you look at on paper right now, they should be able to beat, right? Without going crazy and saying, well, they're going to win in OKC or they're going to win on the road in Golden State. No, I mean, being logical about it is one thing, but I think being logical and getting them to at least 48. Are we underselling them right now? We're overselling them right now. You think that the month of March is, as it looks, I mean, seriously, schedule-wise, as we talked about yesterday, looks incredibly tough. And you might back off of that prediction a little bit. And here's another angle that you guys absolutely love. And it's not unique to Indianapolis, but it certainly thrives in Indy. It thrives in this area. You guys know what I'm talking about? What thrives in this area? And really, this team had it anyway. But they have it even more right now, considering they're third in the East. And I saw ESPN break down the Eastern Conference at the top, in the top four, and the Pacers are third. And you know what Tim Legler did not mention? The Pacers. Boston got slotted in there. All right. Top three right now. But you know what the Pacers have. You know what the fans have around here. And believe me, I've been around here forever. I know everybody thrives with this in mind. You know what that is, Tony?
The underdog role?
The underdog role.
Overlooked.
The underdog role
Chip on the shoulder.
is even more magnified with this group. Even more. I mean, take that and run with it. Take that chip on your shoulder of watching Tim Legler break down four other teams atop the Eastern Conference. You're the third team of the Eastern Conference, and you get nary a mention. Man, that's always been perfect for this market. Say it has been perfect. Oh, we're getting overlooked. I mean, listen, I probably do. I probably help grow, like they help grow basketball. I help grow chips on the shoulder around here, I think. Here's the reason why they're overlooked. But it's always worked. Always. That's something else I think they have going for them. And again, these are going to be in March especially. March is going to have some tough games. They've got some tough places to play. There are going to be some games that probably won't look so great. But, a lot of people yesterday kind of writing them off and saying, Matthews won't add much. And, this is going to be under 48 wins. Yeah, I'm not so quite sure you would want to go ahead and write them off at this moment. I love the underdog role is the best. Let's play the underdog role. They're going to be able to do that remainder of the season, which to me is, that's right in the wheelhouse of most everybody around here. Talked to Kevin Pritchard about that coming up at 4:05 and a lot of other things that I'm kind of interested in too. I appreciate him coming on. And again, I want to remind you, I'll have to ask him right at the beginning. I don't know if he's able to talk about Wes Matthews. But again, if he's not able to name him, well, I'll beat around the bush a little bit. I'm professional enough. I mean, this is JMV 88 right here. If I can talk up the fine young Campbells, and Rock said, I sure as hell can find a way around trying to talk about a guy that you're not supposed to talk about in name because the signature is not done yet. We can work around that some form or fashion, I promise.
Wait, it's the Campbells, like the soup? I thought it was the fine young camels, like the animal.
Fine young cannibals.
Oh, so none of them.
Fine young. You thought it was the fine young Campbells?
I couldn't. No, camels, like the animal. I couldn't tell what the hell you were saying through your lisp.
Fine young. You couldn't tell that I said the fine young cannibals when I did that?
No.
The fine young cannibals. Roland Gift was the lead singer of the fine young cannibals. You got that, Roland?
We'll play it coming back.
We'll play out. Yeah, we'll do that. I thought I enunciated as best I could with the world's worst lisp. Maybe I didn't. Is that my man Indiana Jones? I'm going to grab him before the break here. I don't normally take anybody in this first segment, but he gets priority because he's a friend of the show. DJ Indiana Jones, you going to help me hook up my mess here? You going to help me?
Yeah. I'm going to come help you out, man.
I'm going to need it, too. It's still sitting in his bedroom floor in the box.
All right, we're going to get that sorted this coming week, man. We got to get that sorted. We got to get him on his road. I need backup out there at those bullseye events.
Hey, by the way, too, let's prop up somebody that's a friend of both of ours, the man with two brains. You know what I mean? Prop him up a little bit.
Peter Dinwiddie. Shout out to Peter, man. Come on the show, man. We need your advice out here. We need your help.
I believe he's going to come on the show, Tony, next week, I believe, right? Yeah. Pete Dinwiddie's going to come on the show. Monday, Pete Dinwiddie's going to come on the show. So I'm getting my Texas Instruments calculator, my slide rule, and I'm going to be well versed in mathematics for the man with two brains on Monday.
Money? You're ready to play some money ball, huh?
You got that right. You got that right.
Hey, I wanted to drop some science on that Ozzy Osbourne thing that you're circulating.
Please do. Am I saying it wrong? Was it not accurate?
You are. So what really happened with that was he did bite the head off a bat, but he did it in a label meeting with his executives at the record company. And somehow, to get their attention, to let them know that he was ready to go solo and he was wilding out.
No, so, it was on the stage in Des Moines, Iowa, wasn't it?
Nah, I don't think so, man. I think that's the legend of it, but that's not how it went down. It happened in the actual label meeting with all the suits, and he shook the whole building with that.
Well,
ready to go.
All these years I was thinking.
All these years I heard that same story, John. I heard that same story, and I researched it, and I'll put my reputation on that.
I don't want to hear any label. I want to hear how he was in a drug-induced haze and thought it was a fake bat and did it on stage. I don't want to hear any of this. Come on, man.
He did it. He knew it was a real bat. He knew it was a real bat, which I think is even weirder.
Hey, where are you this weekend? Tell people where they can find you.
Tonight I'm going to be I'll be on the west side at the Play Lounge. I'm doing a Bob Marley tribute. Tomorrow I'm going to be rooting on the University Trailblazers at the Shelby Girls Regional Final. And other than that, I'm going to be Sunday night Casbah regular. Last weekend we did the Atlanta Super Bowl with with the guys from Bullseye was amazing. The pregame was crazy. So that's what I'll be doing.
Is Kyle on vacation this week? That's why I haven't heard from him.
Oh, of course. You know, he's probably he's definitely on vacation. He deserves a vacation after the way they work. Boy, they work hard.
It looked great. I saw Lil Wayne hanging. I said little. I saw Lil Wayne hanging out with you guys down there too.
Are you talking about Little Wayne and the Fine Young Camels?
Little Wayne.
Little Wayne. My good friend Little Wayne.
That is me.
Yeah, he was down there hanging out.
My man, I got to run here. I got to run,
all
but
right,
thanks for calling in, my friend. I appreciate that. DJ Indiana Jones, Bob Lovell, Mike Wells, Don Fisher, and Kevin Pritchard is must listen coming up at 4:05. We're back with you next.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Get a $70 reward card on the purchase of 4 Michelin tires, plus up to $120 in additional rebates. See store for details.
Hey, this is Jeff Saturday for More Restoration. Chances are you or someone you know have already experienced a disaster at home or at work. A fire or flood is never something you plan on happening, but if it does, you need to know what to do and how to protect your damaged property. More Restoration is the only name you need to know when a property loss occurs. Let More Restoration help you get your property back to normal with their second-to-none, industry-leading emergency response team. Call the only number I call. Call More Restoration Disaster Cleanup and tell them Jeff Saturday sent you.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive Little Blue Pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. Right now, get your first month supply for free. All you pay is just $5 for your medical consultation when you go to 4hims.com/good. After that, it's just $30 for a month's supply. Sure beats paying big bucks for just one blue pill, doesn't it? Plus, you won't need an awkward in-person doctor's appointment to get the prescription. Hims has doctors online who can prescribe the medication, and a pharmacy sends it right to your door. It's affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To get your first order for just $5, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/good. That's 4hims.com/good for your first month for just $5. 4hims.com/good.
This is a test of your Bill Estes Jeep awareness. Did you know the Bill Estes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram store is now open in Brownsburg? And right now, use your tax refund to double your down payment. So we'll match your tax refund up to $2,000 or get up to $4,000 more for your trade, even if you have to drag it in. New Jeeps and Rams at Bill Estes in beautiful Brownsburg. The hottest vehicles at the hottest corner in Hendricks County.
It's Andy Moore Toyota. It is in Avon, 5 miles west of 465. It is on US 36. Have you guys been out there yet? Talk to my man, Jeremy Wilson, about what they have. I'm telling you, to start the year, we're like a little over a month heavy now in the year of 2019. A great time to go out and find yourself a new ride, car, truck, or van. You got a lot of people to haul around, don't you? You may need a minivan. It's that time for you. The Sienna minivan is one of the best on the market anywhere. Promise you that. You're going to get a great deal with Jeremy Wilson, with Moose, the two Chris's, Andrew and Diana, and all my friends at Andy Moore Toyota in Avon, too. Get the fuel efficiency of a Tony Donahue type of ride. That would be the Toyota Corolla or the Tundra, the 4Runner, the Highlander, all great vehicles and all great prices with folks that want to work with you with what you want in mind. So check it out, AndyMooreToyota.com, or tell them I sent you. 5 miles west of 465 on US 36.
Hi, I'm Connor Daly, and February is Heart Month. Between competing on the Amazing Race all around the world and being an IndyCar driver, I've learned that I can't take my heart health for granted. I've also got another great reminder in my little brother Carter, who was born with a heart condition called SVT. Just about every one of us is touched by heart disease in some way. It's the #1 cause of death in Indiana, and 80% of stroke and heart disease can be prevented just by making lifestyle changes and with education. So ask yourself, what can you do this month to change the way you treat your heart? I'll bet it leads you on an amazing race towards a healthy life.
Hi, I'm Larry Howald from Howald Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing, and I'm going to speak from the heart today and maybe get a little red. I'm all about family, though. 4 daughters, my wife Gina, my sister Linda, my dog Lucy. These ladies make my heart pitter-patter each day. Their wire company supports the American Heart Association and Indy Has Heart program. Did you know that heart disease causes 1 in 3 women's deaths each year, killing approximately 1 woman every minute? Get the facts, know the warning signs, and stay healthy.
Hey, Johnny for Forum Credit Union, Trevor Green, and everybody at Forum Credit Union always trying to find better ways for you to save. And in this case, better ways for you to save while also having the opportunity to win. Forum Credit Union is showing some love this month with a special scratch-off promotion. Any branch location, you go in, you ask about their high dividend checking and certificate promotion taking place now through February the 24th. Scratch and win with amounts from $5 to $50. All you got to do is sign up on a new Your Checking account with direct deposit of at least $500 monthly, tied to a common sense savings account, or bring $5,000 or more in a new money to Forum by opening up a certificate or an IRA, and you are in the running for their scratch off contest going on right now. Trevor Green, talk to him about that. Anybody at any of the branch locations, or for your information right now in front of you, forumcu.com.
At Diamonds Direct, love and romance are what we're all about. So for this Valentine's, we're making it easier than ever for you to give her that special gift that says I love you like nothing else can. Now through Valentine's Day, you can pick out the most romantic jewelry and enjoy 5 years, zero-interest financing. How about a $3,000 pair of gorgeous diamond stud earrings, just $50 a month? We've teamed up with top jewelry designers to offer a special selection of exquisite jewelry, rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, and more, starting as low as $200. You can even meet famous designers in-store Valentine's weekend. It's Diamonds Direct's best ever Valentine's event, with more choices, in-store appearances by world-class designers, and 5 years zero-interest financing on any purchase. And yes, all engagement rings are included in this spectacular offer. Imagine a $6,000 ring, just $100 a month. Come let us help you find the ultimate symbol of your love with payments that make it more affordable than ever on approved credit. Now through Valentine's Day only, and only at Diamonds Direct.
Keystone at the Crossing.
It's Lucas Oil Family Night when your Pacers meet the Cleveland Cavs Saturday at 7. Family Night tickets include food, drink, and Pacers hat. Get tickets at pacers.com/family.
The Jeff and Big Joe Show.
I have never seen Derek Collison, who's a very quick guy, move so fast or take shelter in such a hurry.
I've never seen so many manly men turn into little children than when a bat comes flying out.
There is now a Twitter account called the Fieldhouse Bat, which just tweeted at us, need me to call in and explain why kicking a bat is a bad idea?
The Jeff and Big Joe Show, 10 till noon weekdays on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. The Ride with JMV, FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
And there's a bat flying around down near the players. Now it's on the floor out near the center jump circle. And they're going to have to take care of this before play progresses any further. Now who's going to go get that bat? Pat, is it going to be you? Will it be there's our esteemed equipment man, Country, and the great J.O.E. from the Security Patrol. Who's going to get the bat? My money's on Country. He's tenacious. Country reaches out with his left hand and nearly snags it. Now Boomer's involved in the chase. The bat has gone behind the basket in the Clippers' end. It's circling in the lane, and now it's back over on the near sideline, taunting and demeaning those trying to catch it.
Mark Boyle, Pacers Radio, with the call of the bat being loose in the Fieldhouse last night. Oh, we got the legendary Ozzy Osbourne in the bat story. Everybody's responding to the Ozzy Osbourne bat story. That's all right. I like it. Kevin Pritchard, top of the hour. Can't miss conversation with the Pacers president. Bob Lovell, Mike Wells, Don Fisher, all coming up, too. Got a busy weekend. John Cusack was over at the Mural last night. William Shatner is over there. Why didn't I moderate that with Cusack last night? I wouldn't even have to do any research. Just sit down and go, yeah, there we go. The heck happened there? Which is interesting. I'd completely forgotten this. So the Colts today waive quarterback Brad Kaya. I forgot he was there. Did you remember? Practice squad? I forgot he was there. That was just sent out by the Colts a moment ago. Anyway, 239-1070 is the number. My man Straight Line Fever Scoggin has an answer Aussie-wise for us. I was right, though, correct?
Yeah. First of all, straight line fever. The first qualifying session at Pomona is starting about now. So this weekend is the Winter Nationals. But
should we call up Cruz Pedregon right now and see what's up?
He's probably a little busy right now. Ozzy bit the head off of a dove at the record label meeting because I don't know if they had a multitude of doves or just one white dove. But there's a picture of him, holding on to what's left of the dove with drool, with blood on down his chin. But you were right about the bat on stage, where he thought it was a toy bat or a plastic bat. So the stories have got a little, mixed up there. But it was a dove that he bit the head off of for real. And I guess he just did it just to show everybody, hey, I'm crazy, I'm Ozzy. So
now, did he also sniff a line of ants? Is that also a legend? That's a pretty good one, too.
No, that was, I believe that was in The Dirt, the Motley Crue book, that they were on tour together, and they were so desperate, they were so jonesing that he snorted ants off a popsicle that had melted on the sidewalk. So, I mean, truth is stranger than fiction, John. You know that.
I'm telling you what, these stories are awesome, though. I mean, nobody has any better stories than these rock guys,
Right.
Nobody. So.
Well, when I saw the bat last night, I thought of Manu Ginobili from the Spurs, who swatted the one out of midair. That was like, call Manu, man. He's retired.
He swatted, and you can't. I mean, you get in trouble if you harm it. I mean, it's tough trying to catch it and not hurt it at the same time, which is what they're trying to do, I guess. So
well, anyway. I know you don't want it. You don't want to piss Pete off, but you also don't want all 17,000 people, maybe getting bit by a rabid bat.
Yeah,
either.
you don't want. Yeah, you don't want. Hey, I'm going to the game and I just got some rabies. Thanks.
Yeah, I need 10 shots in my gut. Yeah. All right, man.
All right, take it easy. Straight line fever right there. Jeremiah writes this, hey, JMV, I'm watching via YouTube again. Is that an old school MSA T-shirt? It is from the shop in Broad Ripple and Carmel. I am indeed their T-shirt billboard. Yeah, this is an old school Market Square Arena T-shirt. You can see it YouTube, 1070thefan.com's channel, or 1070 The Fans channel, I should say. But it is Market Square. It's one of their best. Now, I've got the yellow one. There's also a blue one. It's a Market Square Arena T-shirt. You can see it on YouTube right now. I'm waving at you guys. It's the 1070 The Fan page is where you can find it. Sergeant Tony Slocum wrote this. According to Ozzy's book, he did bite the head off a bird, but it was a canary in a record executive office meeting. And then Greg and Carmel actually told me that there's a news. That's what I thought. I thought I saw the newspaper article in Des Moines, Iowa, back in the early 80s about the bat thing, too. So I guess in this case, we were both right, which is not bad.
Here's what we know is that Ozzy's bat blank crazy.
The sniffing the ants is even better than the bat story.
That is ridiculous.
That's even better than the ant story. See, that's somebody we've never had on here. Ozzy Osbourne, yeah.
Sharon.
You know who is in town on Valentine's Day? Would you go see Cher?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm
going to tell you that I would.
I'm not ever going to say no to free tickets.
I never have seen Cher, and he put that on the resume. But here's another reason why. It's Valentine's Day, and it'd be cool, right? But did you know that Nile Rodgers and Chic open up for Cher?
Oh,
and let me tell you, Nile Rodgers and Chic, they are awesome. I have seen them before. They are awesome in concert. I mean, he is an absolute genius. But I think in a second, I would go down and see Cher on Thursday. Anybody want to go see Cher? That's next Thursday. I think that's on Valentine's Day. But yeah, in a second, I would go see it. Nile Rodgers and Chic open up. And he does, or they did all their hits with Chic, but then he also was a writer and a producer of a lot of the mainstream stuff. He helped out David Bowie with his Let's Dance album, and he plays that. He plays Like a Virgin. But I mean, it's a great show. Just a great show. All right, I sent this out. Connecticut Water question of the day. I'm going to set the number at 48. I'll set the number at 48. Would you take the over or the under? The number is 48. Around the studio, really quick, Austin, the number's 48. You taking the over or the under for total wins in the regular season for the Pacers?
After looking at the schedule yesterday, I'm going to have to go with the under.
Austin's taking the under. Tony, what are you taking?
Well, yesterday when you asked, I said 48, so I can't take a push. So I'll go with the under just because that schedule does get brutal. Although they have more games remaining against teams under 500 than over.
Yeah, I really like that exact number, 48. So if I can take that, I'll take.
You can't have
push.
it. That's why I put. That's why we discussed it yesterday. That's why I put 48 up there. So I'm gonna go one above here. I'm going to be the bright side of the room, and I'm going to suggest. I'll say 49. I'll say 49. I'll take the over. Austin, Tony, take the under. The Connecticut Water question of the day. 48 total wins. If I set that mark for the Pacers in the regular season, would you take the over or the under? Quick break. We'll come back. Your phone calls at 239-1070. Tony's got a bail in the 5 o'clock hour, so we may be doing anything goes. That may be really weird coming up after 6. But Tony's got a bail to do a high school game tonight. Tony is doing Carmel and HSE tonight, correct?
Yep.
Awesome listen. That'll be fun. Bob Lovell, Mike Wells, Don Fisher, and top of the hour is can't miss. Pacers president Kevin Pritchard will join us here to talk about the past 24 hours and then some. Pacer president Kevin Pritchard, 4:05 today. Back with you next.
Kick off the month of May at Rev, presented by Fifth Third Bank as it returns to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Saturday, May 4th. Tickets on sale now. Get yours before they're gone at revindy.org.
Dan Dockage here. Does your company need stronger talent to grow your business? Without the best talent, it's hard to win. Joe Huffine and Kingsley Rose are helping companies all over the country in multiple industries recruit top talent. Private equity firms, multi-billion-dollar firms, and small companies are hiring Joe Huffine and Kingsley Rose to build management teams, sales teams, operations, IT teams. Need a CFO? Sales leader or CIO? Visit kingsley-rose.com, one of the only retained search firms in Indianapolis, kingsley-rose.com.
Tesla, the multi-platinum rock and roll band is back with the Shock USA Tour. One night only, the Murat Theater at Old National Center. This Saturday night. Tickets on sale now at the Old National Center box office or online at Ticketmaster.com. Tesla Shock USA Tour, part of the Cricket Concert Series.
I can't get rid of water like I used to. It's embarrassing, but I leak. And I can't get rid of this musty smell. Ew.
If your house could talk.
My foundation was strong, but the stress weighed on me. And I cracked a lot.
I'm literally a walking hazard. I'm not that old. When they told me I needed a lift here and there, well, I never.
No one ever goes down there. Who knew there was mold spreading?
Is your house trying to tell you something? Cracks in the drywall, uneven floors, musty smell? These can be signs of a sinking foundation, crawl space issues, or a leaky basement. Call Indiana Foundation Service for a free inspection at 888-222-0608. That's 888-222-0608. And take advantage of no payments and no interest until 2020. Some restrictions apply.
Now I love the way I look. You can't even tell I had any work done.
John here for 1 hour heating and air conditioning. 1 hour heating and air conditioning to the rescue. I'm telling you, we fell off the table. It was like 55 midday point yesterday morning, and I was outside earlier today. It was like 17. I mean, all off the table, and that can help affect your heating efficiency in your home, which means right now maybe it's not doing what it should. You're staying colder. It's costing you money, and that's where 1 hour heating and air conditioning comes in here. The experts, they get in, make sure everything's running okay, and if you need a repair, they'll slice $51 off of that repair, and you'll have the security of knowing that you're going to be warm and comfortable, and you're not going to be losing money because your heating unit is not working the way that it should. It's 1 hour heating and air conditioning. That's 1 hour heating and air conditioning today, 855-1-HOUR.
At IUPUI, creating tradition is a team sport. It takes players who compete with ferocious determination. It takes fans who go above and beyond. It takes you. We need you to rise up and support us, to energize us and intimidate our opponents.
To roar with all your might.
See the Jags roar on Saturday as they take on Horizon League rival UIC at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. Tip-off at 1 o'clock.
Tickets and information at IUPUIJags.com. Together we'll launch a new era of victory at IUPUI. Find out how to roar with the Jags at IUPUIJags.com.
DiamondsDirect.com.
At Diamonds Direct, love and romance are what we're all about. So for this Valentine's, we're making it easier than ever for you to give her that special gift that says I love you like nothing else can. Now through Valentine's Day, you can pick out the most romantic jewelry and enjoy 5 years, 0-interest financing. How about a $3,000 pair of gorgeous diamond stud earrings, just $50 a month? We've teamed up with top jewelry designers to offer a special selection of exquisite jewelry, rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, and more, starting as low as $200. You can even meet famous designers in-store Valentine's weekend. It's Diamonds Direct's best ever Valentine's event, with more choices, in-store appearances by world-class designers, and 5 years 0-interest financing on any purchase. And yes, all engagement rings are included in this spectacular offer. Imagine a $6,000 ring, just $100 a month. Come let us help you find the ultimate symbol of your love with payments that make it more affordable than ever on approved credit. Now through Valentine's Day only, and only at Diamonds Direct. Keystone at the Crossing.
Let me get a show of hands right now. I can't really see you, but yeah, put your hand up anyway if you have maybe some issues because of the hard weather we've gone through. The roads are not good around here. It's pothole city. That will take a toll on your car, truck, or van, and that's where my friends, Joe Childers and the gang at CarX come in. Joe runs the local CarX locations and make sure everything is smooth there. I'll give you a great example. I had to take mine in for a little spa treatment, the Tundra, and Micah and Justin and the gang, awesome. Absolutely awesome what they did, too. And it needed it because you just get things that, kind of become, how should I put it, displaced, a little bit wiggly, a little bit jiggly by virtue of hitting so many bumps, potholes. Even if it doesn't do anything with your tire or your wheel, it can still cause damage on your vehicle. So make sure the folks at CarX get a look at it. If you need tires, the best prices on tires anywhere. If you need brakes, they handle that too. And any type of maintenance that is necessary on your vehicle, they can do. I trust CarX, nobody else. Tell Joe Childers I sent you today at any of the Central Indiana CarX locations. Make it CarX today.
Hey there, it's Stan Dockett. You know KeyBank is the official banking home of the Indiana Pacers, and over there, financial progress is the game plan. No matter if you're ahead or behind, you can always be going for the financial win when you use the red key. KeyBank is member FDIC.
Powered by the Hubler Auto Group, a dealer to help the people. Shopping for a new or used vehicle? Click drivehubler.com for Indiana's largest selection and best deals. Hubler has it all.
Coming up on the Jeff and Big Joe Show Monday, we'll continue to follow the Pacers' great homestand, and we'll also try to be free of bats. That comes your way Monday, 10 to noon, here on FM 107.5, 1070 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
I don't understand the words you just said.
On FM 107.5 at 1070
Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Thank you for dropping in. Austin's in here. Jared's in the other room. Tony's here. Tony's got a high school game of the week coming at you later on tonight. That's HSE and Carmel. You ready to go? You done your research?
Research has been done. All good.
Brett wants to know this. JMV at 1070thefan.com. Would you ask Tony to talk about the matchup of bigs tonight? Curious how good the HSE center is.
Yeah, HSE plays small for the most part, but they've got Etherington, who, as you know, is the Etherington brothers. Austin, friend of the show, played at Butler.
We like the Etheringtons.
Yep, John Michael Malloy, averaging 14
He's
points.
got really two strong names right there.
He's, I guarantee you I'll probably call him John Michael Vincent at some point tonight.
Do it.
But he's averaging 14. Carmel's deep, number 2 in the state. Hamilton Southeastern isn't quite as deep. They play small, but we'll see what happens.
So, Tony, later on tonight's Gotcha. That follows The Last Word with Matt Taylor and Jimmy Mad Dog Matus coming up at 6:30, which means at 6 o'clock I've got an Anything Goes segment for you. The most unfiltered segment in the history of Indianapolis radio. Can get wild. And the reason why it is because normally when you call it 239-1070, Tony checks you in all nice and tidy. Make sure you have a topic. Make sure you're halfway decent, right? And name, location. Anything goes. I just say 239-1070, and I pick up the phone. And it can get a little UGLY. It can get a little bit ugly.
Yeah.
It can.
Yeah, that's we'll see. I mean, it's still going. It hasn't been axed yet.
I need to put an over-under on that. I just haven't yet. JMV, we are sticking with the onstage in Des Moines, Iowa story. That's a real deal right there. The real story. It's from Rich. Based on Tony's recent tweet, they get to 51 just by taking care of teams below 500. So I say 51 to 53. Right now, you guys are going the over. Connecticut Water question of the day is the number is 48 that I set for regular season wins for the Pacers. Which would you take, the over or the under? I took the over, just a smidge over in 49. You know, I figured it out yesterday at 48. 48 is logical considering the teams that they should be able to beat. I mean, that is logical. That's not suggesting they're going to, to knock off anybody, but that's also not losing to a team, for example, like Cleveland tomorrow night that they lost to early in the season with Vic at home. So that also considers that. It's from Brandon Reeve. What's worse here, getting bit by a bat or swallowed up by one of these potholes? I'm telling you what, potholes are terrible out there right now, mostly on the north side. How do you guys driving up Meridian without just constant? Do you take Meridian at all now? Because that thing looks terrible.
I avoid Meridian at all costs no matter what, so no, I haven't. But, I mean, between the construction down Penn and down College and all these roads being tore up, I mean, it's a damn disaster. It almost – normally 19 to 21 minutes for me to get in. It's been 30 lately.
Kevin Pritchard is going to join us at the top of the hour. This is a response I just got when talking about what the Pacers did and what they're doing and bringing in Wes Matthews. I get, signed a scrub and did nothing like always. That's what we get. My man here is about as pessimistic viewing as the Pacers as you get, though. Some are like that, some aren't. We get Kevin Pritchard's point of view coming up at the top of the hour, though. Yeah, 48 is where it's set right now, guys. That's what we're going with. JMV did some reading last summer on bats and how to keep them in order to keep skeeters down.
Skeeter.
I've heard of people putting bat houses on their property. I don't need it because I live so far out where they just kind of fly around anyway.
Skeeter.
I hate bugs. I love when people say skeeter.
There's
a skeeter's good, man.
Check out my skeeter.
My man, Coach Brian Hurd, who's I think he coaches up at Zionsville, talks about the HSE big.
Yeah, they've got big guys, but they lack in guard play.
That 7-foot center. What grade is he in? That 7-footer up there.
Maber Majak, I believe his name is. Yeah. I think he's a. Is he a junior?
7-footer.
Must be nice, right?
No doubt about that. All right, quick break. We'll come back here in just a second. Kevin Pritchard's going to join us about 4:05 today. Bob Lovell, we'll get into that game with Bob a little bit too. Yeah, not only do you have a busy weekend of boys high school basketball, but you have girls regional play coming up this weekend as well. We'll talk to Bob about that and some college hoop with Bob Mike Wells, ESPN.com. Maybe some Colts, probably a lot of Pacers. Wells actually gave Myles a little bit of a thumbs up a couple of nights ago. Myles looked good again last night. I think Myles should be mentioned as Defensive Player of the Year. Who we talk about with Defensive Player of the Year? Gobert will be in there because he didn't make the All-Star team, but Gobert will be in there. Who we talking about Defensive Player of the Year with Myles? Well, I tell you what, since we always like to talk Myles and Domus on this show, who do you think is more logical to win said award? Myles, Defensive Player of the Year, or Domas, Sixth Man of the Year?
Myles, Defensive Player of the Year.
Who would you pick?
Easily.
Over Domas being Sixth Man of the Year?
Yeah.
You don't think Sabonis will get any love for Sixth Man of the Year?
I think he will, but my God, don't they just automatically give that to Lou Williams every year?
He didn't do too much last night, did he?
No.
What, did he have 10 points last night? All right, we'll talk about that and more coming up on the other side, too. Bob Lovell, Mike Wells, Don Fisher. IU loses at home to Iowa last night. Any Hoosier fans want to call in about that? I'm assuming you probably don't, but you can. And at 4:05, Pacer president Kevin Pritchard, the state of the Pacers trade deadline, and we'll see if he can start talking about Wes Matthews just yet. I'm not quite sure. We'll try to work that in coming up here at 4:05. Pacer president Kevin Pritchard's going to join us. Back with you next.
The Pacers' push toward postseason play continues. The blue and gold are fighting through injuries and adversity.
Oladipo is seated under the goal.
Taken off on a stretcher.
But we've been here before, and you know this team won't give up.
Thaddeus Young with yet another tremendous play.
Next up, the Cleveland Cavaliers come to town Saturday at 6:30. Every play of every game heard here. Your home for Pacers basketball is FM 107.5 at 1070 The Fan.
Kyle Knezovich here for Body Sculpt RX. Dan Dockich and I lost a combined 38 pounds, and now I'm doing Cool Sculpting. Cool Sculpting is the #1 non-invasive lipo procedure in the U.S. and can reduce fat from areas that working out and diet can't do. I worked out the same day as being Cool Sculpted. See the certified medical staff at Body Sculpt RX for your free consultation. The 45-day cleanse, shape reclaimed program. Cool Sculpting. Dan Dockich and producer Kyle approved.
Hey, John here for Royal Spa Hot Tubs. The best hot tub on the planet, designed especially for you. I'll get to that in a moment, but they also right now have some 2018s remaining, which means you can take full advantage on those 2018s at a great price. You can use your Royal Spa Hot Tub any time of the year. You can go out there right now if you wanted to and get in that bad boy. Have it about, I don't know, $103, something like that, and just sit back and enjoy the relaxation after a tough week of work. 2018s in stock and at great prices right now. Now, the best thing about this is Bob Dapper knows it. He manufactures the best hot tubs on the planet with your specifics. You say, this is what I want in mind, and they design it, and they produce it. On the south side, that's at 37 and Epler, the epicenter of the operation with Royal Spa. With the 3 locations, also on the west side, US 36 in Avon, and on the northeast side, off of Pendleton Pike. Spas, gazebos, swim spas, all that you're looking for online, royalspa.com. And remember, the 2018 models at great prices right now. Tell Bob Dapper I sent you. It's Royal Spa.
There are 2 sides to tire buying. There's fun you, who wants crisp handling and puts a smile on your face, and there's realist you, who needs something with all-season capability and a great mileage warranty, for the kids. Luckily, there's now a tire capable of both. Introducing the BF Goodrich Advantage TALT tire for crossovers, SUVs, and light trucks. They've got both sides covered. Stop by Big O Tires in Indianapolis, and their experts will make sure you have the tires designed for a luxurious ride and confident control of the road. The team you trust. Big O Tires. See bfgoodrichtires.com for details.
Hey guys, Valentine's Day is next week, and this year you can love big and save big with Sherry's Berries. Yeah, you get the best of both worlds, a great gift for your sweetheart and a sweetheart deal for you. For just $19.99 plus shipping, watch the love light up in her eyes when you send delicious dipped Valentine's strawberries from Sherry's Berries. Delicious berries dipped in dark, white, and milk chocolatey goodness, then covered in decadent toppings. Only from Sherry's Berries. All for just $19.99 plus shipping. And right now, you can add a dozen red roses to those amazing dipped berries for another $19.99. Shipped together at no extra charge. That's Sherry's Berries for only $19.99 plus shipping and a dozen red roses for just $19.99 more. The only way to get this amazing deal is to go to berries.com, click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner, and use code 300. That's berries.com, click on the mic, enter code 300. Berries.com, code 300.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Lovell, the host of Network Indiana's Indiana Sports Talk. But you also might not know that I suffered a near-fatal heart attack 11 years ago. And earlier in the year, in October, I had quadruple bypass surgery. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I never have. There's no history of heart problems in the family. It's Indy Has Heart Month. So in this month of February, make sure that you take the time to talk to your doctor, and if you have any symptoms at all, make sure you call them as quickly as you possibly can.
Hi, I'm Larry Howald from Howald Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing, and I'm going to speak from the heart today and maybe get a little red. I'm all about family, though. 4 daughters, my wife Gina, my sister Linda, my dog Lucy. These ladies make my heart pitter-patter each day. Their wire company supports the American Heart Association and Indy Has Heart program. Did you know that heart disease causes 1 in 3 women's deaths each year, killing approximately 1 woman every minute? Get the facts, know the warning signs, and stay healthy.
Hey, John, for Forum Credit Union going on right now. They're scratching win game just by opening up your checking account. It is an awesome thing. You can win $5 to $50. You need another way that you can win and many ways that you can save. The Common Sense checking account and the Sprout account, so many ways. And Trevor Green and everybody at Forum Credit Union continuously trying to come up with ways to help you save. That's why they're the best. It's Forum Credit Union. Check out today how you can win. First, save, and then win at a branch location. Tell Trevor I sent you or online, forumcu.com today.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BV, W228CX, Indianapolis. The Ride with JMV.
Yeah, he's all over the damn track. You don't know where the hell he's going. And it was suspension problem that kept from knocking him through the damn wall. I'm tired of this. Got people out there that shouldn't even be in the damn race car.
On FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
All right, we got a couple of minutes for your calls. Kevin Pritchard's going to phone us in just a minute. Talk about the Pacers coming up at the end of the year, toward the end of the year. Connecticut Water question of the day. If I put the number at 48 total wins in the regular season, you take the over or the under. If I put it at 48, would you take the over or the under? Tony's in studio, Austin's in studio, Jared's working in the other room in the Dub studio. So we've got a loaded show for you, including Bob Lovell, bottom of this hour, talking a little high school, a little college, with the longtime host and awesome dude of Indiana Sports Talk, Mike Wells and Don Fisher. Don Fisher, of course, from last night, IU a loser at home again over the Iowa Hawkeyes. Disappointing to many IU fans, especially thinking that maybe this team got up off the mat in East Lansing on Saturday. They lose to Iowa last night. Tony,
the guy on line 2. I have I'm rarely speechless. But
okay. See, this is unheard of territory here.
I have no clue.
Tony has never had to break in to conversation and say, "This, you've never had to lay it out like this. Why? Why do you feel it necessary now?"
I mean, I don't know what he is talking about with Tom Brady, but he's down in Texas.
He's down in Texas,
and he said something about having he's been in the pin.
Okay.
And he's got videos of Tom Brady cheating. And I don't know.
So are we on the fence about going with? I mean, you got other people on hold. We can do that.
If you can go to him, I didn't quite get his name.
Should I go to Pepe first?
No. I don't know.
Should I wait?
Your name's on the show, not mine, man.
He's in jail right now. There's not even a name here.
I know.
Is he going by unknown?
Just say hello. I couldn't understand him, really.
Wait a minute. You got my producer apprehensive about bringing you on at 239-1070, and with that in mind, it interests me incredibly here.
239-1070.
What's your name?
239-1070. Don Juanito Rosa Jr.
Okay.
I haven't told no one, bro. I mean, we could keep this in between us, man. You know what I mean, bro? I don't have to move this forward, bro.
Why are you calling me right now?
Oh, because I already let my probation officer know, bro, and I work in Walmart. I mean, everything's gonna be legal, bro. You know what I mean? She's already trying to obtain some information right now.
On Tom Brady?
On Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, bro.
Huh.
with the CIA. Yeah, man.
The CIA is involved in this too?
FBI, CIA, everything's involved, bro.
Where are you calling from?
Mission, Texas, man. I'm right here in my house right now.
Oh, Tony told me you were in jail. You're not in jail, or you're just out of jail? You're on parole. You're on parole?
No, I'm not. I'm on probation, simple probation. But I work in a Walmart, bro. Yeah, I work in a Walmart, anyways. But I already let her know on everything, bro.
All right.
And I think they're gonna move. They're gonna transfer me state, man, and they're gonna put me in protective witnesses with my stepmom and my dad, because they don't want nobody finding about this, bro. Just I don't know, because it's real secretive, I think.
Okay. All right.
Because they got the owners of the HEB, bro, on Brian and 495, saying that he was gonna give us the HEB to me, my sister, and my dad, because they didn't want nobody to know about this information.
All right.
So they got them on a news feed too. You know what I mean?
Here's what I'm going to have to do. I'm not going because I'm not entertained by this, but I got a regularly scheduled guest to come on right now, so I am going to have to hang up here. Okay.
All right, bro.
All right.
It's okay.
Thank you for the call.
Yeah, I already started the process anyways.
The process is started. All right.
I don't know, man.
I normally can figure out what's going on. I can't figure out what's going on there.
Maybe he thought Anything Goes was starting early today.
You're about 2 hours early for that. Call about 6. That is kind of what we get at 6 o'clock. I will say that.
No, it's not. That's not even close. That's just so far out there.
It will be now. It will be now. No.
Come on, bro.
You didn't. You didn't keep Kevin Pritchard on hold during this, did you?
No,
you didn't hear that.
No.
Right,
oh, thank God. But he's ready.
All right. We'll get back to that maybe in a second, maybe not. On the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline right now, he is the Pacers president. Pacers tomorrow night versus the Cavaliers, a win last night over the Clippers, and we'll find out what's going on in the world of Kevin Pritchard. Again, joining us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I'm assuming, Kevin, you're staying busy right now?
Just kind of hanging out today. You know, it's the day after the trade deadline, and it's kind of like, you know, in college when you would study for a couple weeks for a test, and then you get done and you're like, oh my gosh, thank goodness. But the truth is, we love this day, especially when you can help your team both long and short term, and we kind of felt like we did that with this trade deadline.
What was your thought going into yesterday? And then I don't know just how much you can explain about what went down yesterday, because I'm sure it still has to go over league approval and all. But what was your thought going in as to what you believe you accomplished in the past 24 hours?
Well, you know, you go into a trade deadline. Sometimes you're looking to make, you know, like these huge wholesale trades. Like I gotta change this team up, but you know, even with Victor going down, this team has stuck together, and I couldn't be JMV. I couldn't be more proud of this team, to be honest with you. I mean, they're competing their tails off. We had a play last night sort of define what this team's about. Is Bogdanovich goes in, he gets a dunk, he gets knocked down, they call a foul, he lands on his head, hits his head pretty hard, and he pops right up. It's like nothing. And that's what we've always wanted. We wanted a tough, hard-nosed team that plays together, plays smart, and has a chance to win some games. And if you have that, then you're really talking about how do you make your team better around the edges. And for us, we went into the trading deadline with two agendas. Number one was, can we get a little bit more asset-rich for the future? And we were able to take on some contracts. Herb Simon was gracious enough to take on these contracts and then ultimately waive them and pick up a second-round pick for the future, which is something I really felt strongly about. And I felt like Chad Buchanan and Peter Dinwiddie and Kelly Krauskopf, I said, go get us a second. And they did it. They produced. And so I feel very fortunate for that. And then the second part was when you're looking at your team and you have a one open roster spot, you say, okay, where are the buyouts coming? Who's potential a fit? And who fits us culturally? And we have our eye on one guy. We're in serious discussions. We're down deep in those discussions. I can't tell you exactly who it is, but
I love it. I love it. And we're all trying to figure out who you're talking about. But yes, you're right.
We're close. And if we get him, I will feel like we've hit it out of the ballpark in terms of making our team better today, and then also setting up the team a little bit better in the future, which is something we felt like was really important, JMV.
Yeah, it's Kevin Pritchard, Pacers president. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. What, without saying who, and I obviously understand you can't, but what were you looking for with that type of filling the roster hole that you had? What type of player were you looking for?
Some shooting, some defense, toughness. Those were the three things that we felt like we need. Look, when Victor went down, we said, let's go get another Victor Oladipo. And then in about a half a second, you go, there is no chance. Nice thought, but we're not getting another Victor. They don't make him. He's that special. So what you do is you say, what is the best opportunity for a guy to come in and play that position and help us this year, and maybe a relationship into the future. I don't know. We're hoping that, if we get this player, that he likes us in the future too, and we like him, and we can make some noise. We have an intense schedule in March, and we're going to go through 8 or 9 games that it's like it's the best of the best in the league. It's the top 8 teams in the league. And then it kind of opens up, and we'll get ready for the playoffs. But I didn't want to take this team third in the East right now. We're third in the East, and because of Victor's injury, say, let's blow it up. Let's go in another direction. I couldn't do that to Thad, who's playing his butt off, and to Darren, who's having a great year, and to Myles, who might be the best defensive player in the league right now, and to Bonus, who's statistically one of the top players. I couldn't do that. There was no way I could do that because I'm too proud of the way this team is competing, JMV. They're just a good group of guys who it's easy to like.
So Kevin Pritchard joins us. Did they, like last year, come to you and ask you if you could keep this thing together?
I would say this, that they already knew that they had enough emotional credit, that it wasn't full-on conversations like it was last year. It was more like, hey, Kev, we're not doing a thing, are we? And you wouldn't be. One of them said, you wouldn't be dumb enough to change this team, would you?
That's bold right there. I like it. You have to like that boldness.
I do too. And the player is just such a good human being that it came off as we were joking with each other, and we were kind of chiding each other, and that's kind of how he said it. So it was fun. So it was very interesting.
I follow you on social media. There was some rumors knocking around the night prior regarding Aaron Holiday. I like Aaron Holiday a great deal. I think you got something that's going to become special around here in him. You kind of shot down those rumors. Were there a lot of teams that were coming at you, asking you if he was available at the trade deadline?
I mean, look, if you have a good young player and he's on a rookie scale deal and he's in your rotation and he's showing promise to be a starter, you're going to get called no matter what position it is or who it is. That's just the nature of the business. What I struggled with is if there's misinformation that hurts our team and hurts our relationships with players, because we're all about family and doing it right and being together. When that is wrong information and it hurts the team, then I struggle with that. And so that's why I made the comment.
So Kevin Pritchard, Pacer president, he's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. What do you visualize? And you mentioned March is a bear. There's no doubt about that. But where do you visualize this team being compared to what Toronto did prior to the trade deadline, what the Bucks did, what Philly did, more than 48 hours ago to try to help their team out? Where do you envision yourselves in that group? Also, with the Celtics obviously in mind there too.
Well, the truth is we're in third place in the East. We went through a little bump. We lost a few games, but we got our mojo back. I'm hopeful that we can add another player to help us, but I don't really get caught up in the wins and losses. I know that sounds crazy. What I really want us to do is play the right way And if we're competing at a high level, there's games where we have lost here, and I went, man, we played hard and played smart and we played together. I'm okay with that. So the wins takes care of himself. What I vision as this team is we keep coming together. We go through some adversity in this March because it's going to be just a rough patch. We're going to learn about ourselves. We're going to learn our strengths more. We're going to learn our weaknesses. And if we can come out of that and be a better team at the end of it, I think in the playoffs, we're going to be a really tough out. Look, no one last year thought we were going to take Cleveland to 7 games. Not one person was like, yeah. And the truth is, we all know this. In Game 5, when LeBron goaltend, if they call goaltend in different series, we win the series, in my mind.
Yes.
So my point is, I don't think this team's going to be scared to play anybody in the playoffs. I just don't. I can't tell you that, Thad Young who's one of our leaders is going to look in there and go, oh my God, I just don't think. I think that our guys will come through March and feel like we've gone through a really tough stretch, and they'll be prepared to play in the playoffs, and we'll play well in the playoffs. I have no doubt about that.
Kevin, you mentioned Myles a little bit earlier. I am probably the biggest supporter, maybe besides yourself, for Myles Turner in this market, without a doubt. I really like him. I have for a long time. You mentioned Defensive Player of the Year. In your mind, to this point, do you think he's at the top of that list with what he has done and what he represents to your team defensively compared to when he's not in there, especially protecting the rim?
If you watched last night's game, that was perfect anecdotal evidence that not only did he block a bunch of shots, that he altered about 10 more. He's becoming that person that if he's around you and you're around the rim, you're cognitive of him. And I think it's even more of that JMV, that teams are now, when they're talking about the Pacers and we're doing the advanced scout, they're saying, hey, listen, you got to worry about this guy offensively and this. But when Myles is around the basket, make sure you're going up strong, or you're pump faking, or you're kicking out. He's having that kind of influence where he's having to be advanced scouted defensively. And that, to me, is an ultimate litmus test of a great defensive player.
Kevin, I think you look back the first 3 weeks of the season, and Nate talked about this, and there was a change in Myles when Nate talked about it. He said, we have to have Myles be comfortable in what Myles is doing. First 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks plus, he didn't look that way. But when he became comfortable offensively, you see his defense getting even better and protecting the rim as he has.
When Myles makes shots, and he feels good about his offense, his defense is better. But one of the things we want to always make sure that we're doing is we're identifying and we're giving praise for what he does defensively first before his offense, for me. Because if he could say, hey, Kevin, you can either have him play a great defensive game or a great offensive game. I take a great defensive game every single time, because when he plays great defense, we have a chance to win almost every one of those games.
In closing with Myles here, what really impresses me is he's able to alter and block shots most of the time without fouling or even coming close to fouling. There's so many guys. There are not that many guys in the NBA that are capable of doing it without even coming close to fouling as he does.
And I'll give you something else. He keeps them in play, and we have a chance at the rebound a lot. That's a real skill, not fouling and keeping them in play. That's, Bill Russell used to do that better than anything.
Completely agree. Kevin Pritchard joins us. Myles, Domas, looks like they're playing more together now. Is that a vision further down the road, having these guys on the floor more often together? I'm not just talking about into this season, but even further down the road. Is that the vision?
We hope that they can. It's funny. It feels like the league's going smaller, but I have no problem going counterintuitive to that, because how do you stop one of those guys in the post? You're going to put a 4-man on Sabonis? That's lunch meat.
Yeah, I agree. It's weird, too, because Myles is a rim protector, but a three-point. I think I would start calling him now a three-point specialist. How many of those guys that are out there that are that rim protect and three-point guys that I couldn't even think of one when I was
the last one I really remember in the league was Rasheed Wallace. Remember Rasheed?
Right.
I mean, he was a defensive presence around the basket, but could shoot threes. But I think Myles might be a better shot blocker. I'd have to look at the stats and analytics, but it's a very unique skill set and something that we're going to take a complete advantage of. And as we grow this team, and to me, the scariest thing is, JMV, Myles is 22 years old. What is he going to be like at 27?
Completely agree. Kevin Pritchard with us. How's Vic coming along, and what's the long term as far as Vic is concerned coming back from that injury?
Well, we went down and we spent some time with him. I think mentally he's in a really good place. I had told him, there's an interesting thing. I remember players getting injured and they would go shoot baskets, like after a week or so with, sitting in a chair or sitting in a table or something like that. And the next thing I know, he's doing it, because if you tell him someone did it when they did it, after 14 days, Victor's going to do it in 13 days. He's going to make sure he just does it a little bit better, a little bit harder, a little bit stronger. I have no reservations that Victor's mental state when he comes back will be better than ever, because he'll study the game and he'll appreciate it so much more. And that physically, I think he'll be back 100%. When? I don't know. And we're not an organization, JMV, that pushes players back soon. I'm an overly cautious president when it comes to that, and I want him to feel great about it. But if I know Victor, if we're saying, hey, you need to do 5 hours of physical therapy, he's doing 10 hours right now.
Kevin Pritchard joins us. Final thing, and I want to get your thoughts on this, just because we've discussed it before as far as tampering is concerned. And there's been a lot of talk about that, kind of league-wide with a couple of different players, a couple of different teams. Can the NBA, can they do something else to try to curb what appears to be at times something that it's out of control? It hurts markets like this. I mean, it really does. And you said it best in September. You said you have to find guys that are really talented and also want to be here. I mean, there's so much that works into bringing somebody in here. It seems like there's a great deal of advantage with the larger markets, and especially with that type of stuff going on in mind. Should the NBA do something about it? Can they?
I don't know what exactly they could do. I think one of the things that we really focus in on is if we develop a great culture, which we already have. We have a phenomenal group of guys. They know that medically they're going to be taken care of. They know that they're going to be treated as humans first and then basketball players second. They're going to be able to become better basketball players on the court because our facilities are the best in the league, and that we care about them. So we're developing a great culture that supersedes a lot of other things, including geographical or any other. But the other thing is we're winning, and players want to get, as much money as they can, but they also want to go where they can have great influence and play, but also where they can win. And now we're providing all of that. The only thing we can't provide is either the beach or the mountains. And, we're never going to be able to provide that, but we can do better at the other things, and that's where we want to be great at.
That always stuck out to me, what you told me in September about, having in obviously the place, but there's also, as you mentioned, the locker room, the camaraderie, the get-along that the team has here, the culture that they have is so important to develop, and it seems like that now for the past couple of years especially, you guys have a lot of that to sell, certainly, to players that might want to end up
No
here.
doubt. And I think that in the next, I'm hoping 24 hours, that may be the exact case of bringing in a guy that has gotten waived here recently, because I know for a fact that they're getting recruited by the top teams, and maybe they choose us. That's all I can say.
I'm just thinking you can sell some minutes, and you mentioned the locker room, and there's a lot to sell here. There is.
Yes, there is. Great owner. We've got a great owner who's committed. Got a great coach. We've got some things that we can line up against people. We're not afraid to recruit against other teams.
Hey, I didn't see you jumping out of your seat last night, running down there and try to grab that bat. What were you doing? Nothing?
I don't know. We were trying to sign Ginobili to a 10-hour contract to go get him.
You'll see everything, right? I mean, you've been to all these games, and you'll see a little bit of everything. Kevin Pritchard is the Pacer president on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Hey, man, thanks as always for coming on. It's always enlightening, always informative, and certainly we need that around here. And I could not thank you more for popping on here today after what has been a busy, I'm sure, past 24-plus hours. Thank you, Kevin.
Glad to do it, JMV. You're one of the good guys.
Thank you, Kevin.
See you, buddy.
See you, man. Kevin Pritchard's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. That's really good. So I just kind of lean back and just let these guys do what they do, and that's be informative. So we'll see about. And obviously, the player he's talking about that he can't talk about yet is Wes Matthews. Now that he's off, I can say that. League rules. Kevin Pritchard, Podcast 1070, thefan.com. There is a lot to play off of there. We'll jump back on and talk about it next.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Get a $70 reward card on the purchase of 4 Michelin tires, plus up to $120 in additional rebates. See store for details.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive Little Blue Pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. Right now, get your first month supply for free. All you pay is just $5 for your medical consultation when you go to 4hims.com/good. After that, it's just $30 for a month's supply. Sure beats paying big bucks for just one blue pill, doesn't it? Plus, you won't need an awkward in-person doctor's appointment to get the prescription. Hims has doctors online who can prescribe the medication, and a pharmacy sends it right to your door. It's affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To get your first order for just $5, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/good. That's 4hims.com/good for your first month for just $5. 4hims.com/good.
Hi, I'm Rick Edelman, and I have a feeling that retirement is on your mind. You're wondering if you've saved enough or whether your money is in the right places. You're wondering when will you be able to retire or will you be able to stay retired? And is your money sufficient so you can live in comfort and financial security for the rest of your life? You're wondering all this, but you really don't have to just wonder. You can resolve all these questions in your effort to enjoy a retirement that's everything you want it to be. And we can help. At Edelman Financial Engines, our clients are predominantly concerned about retirement, your financial security for your spouse, for your aging parents, for your children. And we can help you just like we've helped thousands of folks just like you for more than 30 years. So call us at Edelman Financial Engines at 888-PLAN-RIC. That's 888-PLAN-RIC. Or visit us at rickedelman.com. That's ricedelman.com. And don't wonder about your retirement because we're here to help you.
Sexy has no shape, no restrictions, and no inhibitions. Confidence is sexy, and it's time to unleash it. Love your body, love your relationship, and most of all, love who you are. Visit a Lover's Lane location to check out our new assortment of sensuous lingerie, bedroom essentials, and romantic gifts. Make this Valentine's Day one to remember with something new and exciting from Lover's Lane and loverslane.com. Valentine's Day is coming. Are you?
Got you covered, fellas, just in time for Valentine's Day. Once again, Brad and the gang, Diamonds Direct, stepping up big. 5 years, 0 interest financing at Diamonds Direct, now through the 14th. Let me say it again. 0 interest, 5 years, any purchase, nothing down. Great example for you here. $3,000 pair of diamond earrings, just $50 a month. And we are talking about an endless inventory. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands, designer jewelry, timeless gifts. And yeah, fellas, for those of you out there that are getting ready to go next level on it here, all engagement rings and certified diamonds are included. But this is not going to last forever. 5 years, 0 interest, now through Valentine's Day at the only place you need to go for stuff like this. I'm telling you, she will love you for it. Just in time for Valentine's Day, Diamonds Direct. 5 years, 0 interest on approved credit. Keystone at the Crossing.
You've worked hard. You're passionate, curious, and dedicated, and you're ready for more. At the University of Indianapolis, we're here to help you move forward to advance the career of your dreams. With over 40 graduate programs offered in flexible, traditional, and online formats, you can break through and become more. Are you ready to move forward? You can do it, and the University of Indianapolis can help. Visit request.uindy.edu/graduate to learn more.
Multi-platinum rock and roll band is back with the Shock USA Tour. One night only, the Murat Theater at Old National Center. This Saturday night. Tickets on sale now at the Old National Center box office or online at Ticketmaster.com. Tesla Shock USA Tour, part of the Cricket Concert Series.
Make Valentine's Day the sweetest ever at Windsor Jewelry's Sparkles and Sweets Week, February 8th through the 14th. Get a box of South Bend chocolates free with any jewelry purchase. And Windsor Jewelry has 200 jewelry items under $200. For 100 years, Windsor Jewelry has been your jeweler for Valentine's Day. For a gift that sparkles like stars and melts in your mouth, take your heart to Windsor Jewelry, 16 North Meridian Street on Monument Circle, or windsorjewelry.com.
Oh, Royal Spa.
Connecticut water, the best water. Great prices. John, Joe, and Dennis show you the way right now. Premier Series water softener in-home drinking water station at great prices right now. Hey, speaking of the Premier Series water softener, do you have hard water right now? Because you know, right, you get that scaly buildup on your faucet heads, and frankly, your water sometimes can taste like onions. I've lived with hard water my entire life because I choose to live way out in the boondocks, right? I now have the best water. Thank you, Connecticut. The Premier Series water softener, the in-home drinking water station. Only one more water bottle for the remainder of your life. That's what we're talking about with the in-home drinking water station in the two locations, Northeast Side, Castleton, South Side, US 31, Southport Road. ConnecticutIndy.com for more details today.
It's Lucas Oil Family Night when your Pacers meet the Cleveland Cavs Saturday at 7. Family Night tickets include food, drink, and Pacers hat. Get tickets at pacers.com/family.
The Pacers' push toward postseason play continues. The blue and gold are fighting through injuries and adversity.
Oladipo is seated under the goal.
Taken off on a stretcher.
But we've been here before, and you know this team won't give up.
Thaddeus Young with yet another tremendous play.
Next up, the Cleveland Cavaliers come to town Saturday at 6:30. Every play of every game heard here. Your home for Pacers basketball is FM 107.5 at 1070 The Fan. The Ride with JMV, FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
I haven't told no one, bro. I mean, we could keep this in between us, man. You know what I mean, bro? I don't have to move this forward, bro.
I never got a name. He was calling in allegedly on probation from Mission, Texas. You got information right there. Tony's over there. I'm John. Bob Lovell coming up in just a second. Mike Wells, top of the hour. Don Fisher. IU losing last night at home to Iowa. Don will jump on here at 5:30. Kevin Pritchard, by the way, podcast 1070thefan.com. It's from Reggie. Great interview. You made me want to renew my 23-game package for next season. On the other side of it, I can't. You'll have to help me pronounce this. It's VNZLA81. I know who you are because I know you've been a longtime Pacers fan. I just never understood how to pronounce it. He writes this, not so glowing terms. Pritchard just made me miss Bird so much that interview was the equivalent of talking to a politician. I'm just kind of curious, what did you want the Pacers to do at the trade deadline here? I'm not trying to be flip on you here. I just what did you want them to trade the 1-year contracts and go out and get something? What were you wanting them to do? I'm just curious. Now, there are two sides of it here. We got people that love it. And then a couple of people that thought they should have gone a different direction again during the trade deadline or prior to it yesterday. Jump back to that in just a second. Bob Lovell in a smidge. John on Myles Turner's at 239-1070. John, go ahead. How are you?
Oh, hey, yeah, real quick. Kevin Pritchard was saying that Myles Turner, we compare him to maybe like a Wallace, Wallace there that played for Detroit. Would you also say maybe that Myles Turner has a little bit of Akeem Olajuwon in him too? Put him?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that because Myles is just. I thought he mentioned Rasheed Wallace because Rasheed Wallace, developed that deep shot, and again, Olajuwon was more back to the basket interior type of guy, which clearly Myles is not. Myles is more face up 3-point shooter.
Okay, yeah. Well, Olajuwon would always be my favorite NBA player. Man, he was fun to watch. So.
Yeah, it's just weird. Myles is odd because Myles is a 3-point shooter, face-up shooter, yet, I mean, he's a guy that you have to have on the – like, for example, if you want to play Domas and Myles at the same time, you'd love to be able to do that, as Kevin Pritchard mentioned a little bit more. They like to do that down the road, but you don't want Myles. Myles would be, I think, more capable of covering somebody on the outside, but you don't want him on the outside. You want him down on the interior, protecting the rim, and there kind of in lies one of the issues, I guess, with that moving forward.
Could they teach Myles to be shoot more like what Olajuwon did? Is that something that they could probably teach him or coach him to do?
Well,
if that's what they do?
He worked, and thank you for the call, John. And you saw a video of it. He worked on his back to the basket game over the offseason. We haven't seen a lot of it because he tried that at the outset, and things weren't working for him. And if you remember, Nate said about 3-4 weeks into the season, hey, we need Myles to go back and do what's comfortable for him. And that's what we have seen over the past month plus, couple of months now from him. That's what we've seen. All right, Andy Moore, Automotive Group Hotline right now. Indiana Sports Talk's coming at you tonight at 9:30. Bob Lovell joins us, but you got a busy one, too. You got high school basketball, you got college coming up this weekend, and the girls' regional play is coming up tomorrow, too, so you're going to be busy.
It's a neat time of the year, John. You know that. We do have a lot of games going on, and hopefully we'll have a lot of discussions this weekend.
Yeah, where do we begin? Where do you begin with the discussions?
Game of the week tonight, HSE at Carmel. Tony Donahue's going to sneak out. He's going to blow off what I think he's blown off the last hour to head to Carmel so he can get through Keystone Avenue and get there in time for the game. So that's going to be a great game. I mean, that's I'm looking forward to that. And then I think you've got some really, really good, real good matchups in the regionals as you'd expect, and especially here in this area at Decatur Central, Lawrence North and Mooresville, Mount Vernon and Ben Davis. Just start there, work your way back. So, and obviously a full slate of college football. How about this? You have one more week after this one, literally, of small college basketball, John, and then tournaments begin. How crazy is that?
I think it's crazy right now because you're in the regionals for the girls, and in a couple of weeks you're going to have boys sectionals coming up. You got 2 weeks of the regular season remaining for the fellas?
Pairing shows next Sunday, the 17th. How's that?
That's crazy. So on that Sunday, let me think about this. That Sunday, that's NBA All-Star Game, that's Daytona 500, and that's your pairing show. That's a lot going on.
A lot going on. We understand that those are different audiences, but there's a whole lot going on, and it'll be fun. It's always fun when you get a chance to do the pairing show because you know how much it means to everyone. And so, this starts off. I think we're getting into the really, not that this hasn't been fun up to this point, but from here on out, it really starts to get interesting.
It's a Bob Lovell Indiana Sports Talk tonight, 9:30, tomorrow night, 9:30, across the Network Indiana affiliated stations here in the state of Indiana. College-wise, really quick, who should be more disappointed in their season to this point, Butler or IU? I'm assuming it's IU because they're IU, and also assuming it's IU because most people thought by this time of the season IU would be hitting a stride instead of a slide.
I don't disagree with anything you said. I think they should both be disappointed, equally disappointed, frankly, because I think they both had higher expectations than what they've accomplished to this point. I thought those expectations weren't outrageous. I thought they were in line with what's going on. IU's had some injury issues, had some difficult play issues. They're young, but they're not young anymore. They played long enough. We're past that point. I think last night was as disappointing a loss, frankly, as they've had. You come off a big win, being off a road win against Michigan State, and this is with a week of practices, and this is what you get. So, yeah, I was disappointed, and it's going to be very, very, very difficult, if not nearly impossible, for Butler to make a tournament run. So after you've done that 4 or 5 years in a row and people have those expectations, that's difficult to deal with.
Yeah, I think about this. Romeo Langford is a guy that you saw a lot and called a lot of his high school games.
Sure, saw him a lot.
He had 20 last night, and that's one thing. But this has to be a complete shock to his system because everything seemingly came so easy. And not just as a senior and
Right.
Mr. Basketball. I mean, you go all the way back to freshman and sophomore, and everything was so smooth and easy for him. This has to be unrecognizable for him because there are times when he doesn't look like the type of guy that you thought coming out of New Albany, a year ago as a senior. Has he been just too hyped? Has the hype certainly outweighed what obviously we get as the reality of the player as a freshman in Bloomington?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you look at what he was able to accomplish. He almost set the scoring record, and you got to see him play, and you got to literally see him lift 4 other teammates and play for championships, and they win one. And so I don't think he was hyped. I just think that what you realize is that the Big Ten right now is pretty good. Night after night, they're playing some good teams who have prepared well. They can match up with him physically in a number of spots. I think his team has not necessarily been as adept at figuring out when to get him the ball, how to get him the ball in opportune times. And like most freshmen, he can't guard anybody. So, I mean, I don't think those are not surprises. I just think that, the hype is there. There's nothing you can do about it. This the age we live in where people who are going to be hyped, I still have no doubt that he's a first-round draft pick and leaves after this year and should. I mean, that's the right thing for him to do. But it's hard. I mean, it's a big-time adjustment, and some kids are able to make it quicker than others. But I think, look at it. He has it. John, think back. He has 22 last night. That's not a bad night, right? And I think what hurts in some regards is he's so effortless in what he does that sometimes he's one of those guys that makes you think, well, he's not playing hard. Well, yeah, he is. And he's playing at his pace, which is really, really good, and he's getting things done. And sometimes we misunderstand that okay, he may not dive on the floor for that loose ball or do some of those things. But, hey, look, he's playing hard, and I think playing well. There's a lack of consistency, which is not surprising. But I think it's going to get better.
All right, I got to ask you. You're working with my man Tony Donahue later on tonight. How excited are you about it?
In my career, look, I've been able to do a lot of things in my career, as you know, and I'm proud of all those kinds of things. But this is my second time with Tony Donahue, so it's right up there in the top 3 or 4. You know what I mean?
It's a big deal tonight. So yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's like the main course, and you get the opening act is going to be you at 9:30, right? Compared to being with Tony Donahue on the call.
Well, yeah, it's anticlimactic. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just kind of I don't know that Indiana Sports Talk is a letdown. I don't think it's that. Hopefully, it's not reached that point yet.
No.
But still, it's hard to beat the fact of being there. And I'm able to sit next to David Deering and Tony Donahue and work. How about that?
That's a big deal right there later on tonight.
That's a huge deal.
Big deal. All right, they got you covered tonight for HSC Carmel High School Basketball Game of the Week here on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. Tony Donahue and Bob Lovell. And then Bob comes downtown for Indiana Sports Talk at 9:30. Indiana Sports Talk coming up tomorrow night at 9:30. And again, you got the high school games later on tonight, the college games this weekend, and the girls' regionals. I mentioned to you, too, the Center Grove Bedford matchup coming up in the semifinal tomorrow. Should be pretty fun.
Right. Well, I think that's a good game. I think it's it's a really good Center Grove team and a very good Bedford North Lawrence team. So clearly, you get to this point, there are upsets, but that's a pretty good matchup down in Bedford. You have Castle and Bloomington South in the second game. Let me tell you what, Castle's 120, and Bloomington South's really, really good. So some great games all over the state.
There is. And by the way, too, at the Pacer game last night, you saw J.R. Holmes recognized, which was pretty awesome. So
800 and counting. He's 800 and whatever it is right now. So he's on pace to break the record for the most wins, which will be kind of fun to see him do it. Bob
Lovell, Indiana Sports Talk, 9:30. But first things first, here, Tony on the call of HSE and Carmel later on tonight right here on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. Well done, my friend. It was good seeing you today,
Thanks,
too.
John. Take care. Good to see you, too.
Bob Lovell on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Your calls, Mike Wells, top of the hour. I don't know which re-entry I'm going with yet. I have an idea, though. Just by virtue of a summer release I saw with some shows that are coming around here. Mike Wells is going to join us at 5. Don Fisher at 5:30. Anything goes at 6 o'clock. Back with you next.
Kick off the month of May at Rev, presented by Fifth Third Bank as it returns to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Saturday, May 4th. Tickets on sale now. Get yours before they're gone at revindy.org.
Guys, when you're dealing with ED issues, talking about intimacy can make you uncomfortable. So we'll use another word for intimacy, like basketball. Basketball! Look, you love basketball. Your wife loves basketball, and you both want some hot and sweaty basketball right now. But then, double dribble. Oopsie! And by double dribble, I mean ED issues. You need to get to the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. The Indianapolis Men's Clinic knows that erectile dysfunction is a serious issue that affects 50% of men. That's why they offer a comprehensive approach to battling ED, low T, and even PE, which is kind of like a 3-second violation. Plus, a performance promise. If it doesn't work for you, you don't pay. Before you know it, you'll be back in the game with a slam dunk! Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic and book your $99 office visit today. Call 317-999-9000, 317-999-9000, or at indymensclinic.com.
Get up and go now, so you can go tonight.
Hi, I'm Corey Kreitzberger, General Manager at 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. It's always our goal to make lives better for the good people of Indianapolis. That includes helping children in need. That's why we'll donate $100 to the Riley Hospital for Children for every new HVAC system we install. Call today and bring comfort to your home and to our kids.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms, conditions, and tax may apply. Offer valid February 1st through March 31st. License H0010668.
Hey, John here for a great Valentine's Day gift just for her. All right, be incredibly unique and be that way by virtue of Pajamagram, America's PJ experts over 15 years. This is the world's softest pajamas. And again, we're talking warm, comfortable, cozy, soft. She'll love them too. Love the way that they look. And right now you get free packaging, free wrapping. They'll deliver it prior to Valentine's Day, and you are set. The only thing you really have to look out for here is the fact that so many dudes out there are going for it right now. They normally sell out. So the time is now to get Pajamagram, the world's softest pajamas, for your significant other just in time for Valentine's Day by doing this. Pajamagram.com. Go there and order right now. Pajamagram.com or 1-800-GIVE-PJS. That's 1-800-GIVE-PJS. Pajamagram.com. Tell them JMV sent you.
At Diamonds Direct, love and romance are what we're all about. So for this Valentine's, we're making it easier than ever for you to give her that special gift that says I love you like nothing else can. Now through Valentine's Day, you can pick out the most romantic jewelry and enjoy 5 years, 0-interest financing. How about a $3,000 pair of gorgeous diamond stud earrings, just $50 a month? We've teamed up with top jewelry designers to offer a special selection of exquisite jewelry, rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, and more, starting as low as $200. You can even meet famous designers in-store Valentine's weekend. It's Diamonds Direct's best ever Valentine's event, with more choices, in-store appearances by world-class designers, and 5 years 0-interest financing on any purchase. And yes, all engagement rings are included in this spectacular offer. Imagine a $6,000 ring, just $100 a month. Come let us help you find the ultimate symbol of your love with payments that make it more affordable than ever on approved credit. Now through Valentine's Day only, and only at Diamonds Direct. Keystone at the Crossing.
Hey, business owners. Does your Wi-Fi ever slow down because of your customers? Do downloads lag when they stream videos? Ever tried to finish payroll while clients hog up your bandwidth? Then make the switch to Comcast Business. Our gig speed network is fast, and we go beyond fast when you add Wi-Fi Pro, which lets you allocate how much bandwidth you give to customers and your business. So while customers are busy streaming, emailing, and chatting, your employees can still be productive. Wi-Fi Pro on the nation's largest gig speed network. A great experience for your customers and your business. Switch to Comcast Business now for an amazing deal. Get 75 megabit internet for just $49.95 a month when you add 2 voice mobility lines and sign up for EcoBill and automatic payment. Wi-Fi Pro available for an additional charge. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Offer ends 2/28/19. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment taxes and fees extra subject to change.
You're a born leader. You're passionate and ambitious, and now you want more. At the University of Indianapolis, we're here to help you move your career forward. With full-time and part-time class options in the School of Business, you can get your master's degree in management, human resources, real estate, or data analytics. Or earn your MBA in just 1 year from one of the most established business programs in Indiana. You can do it, and we can help. Visit request.uindy.edu/business to learn more.
This is a test of your Bill Estes Jeep awareness. Did you know the Bill Estes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram store is now open in Brownsburg? And right now, use your tax refund to double your down payment. So we'll match your tax refund up to $2,000 or get up to $4,000 more for your trade, even if you have to drag it in. New Jeeps and Rams at Bill Estes in beautiful Brownsburg. The hottest vehicles at the hottest corner in Hendricks County.
The Pacers host the Cleveland Cavaliers tomorrow evening at 6:30 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. The Ride with JMV. Oopsie. FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Oopsie. Hot, sweaty basketball. Hey, do you know who this is? I know you're not a country guy. I'm not really that big of a new school country guy.
No clue. Scotty McCreery.
I don't even know who that is. Who is Scotty McCreery?
I don't know.
The same guy that didn't want to buy me a boat.
I still don't know.
Buy me a boat.
I kiss a good morning, I kiss a good night. We keep it on the up, that's how we get down. So don't be coming around unless you got them good vibes. I'm living this.
Chris Jansen, who's that? It's Chris Jansen, Tony.
No clue.
Connecticut water question of the day. 48 is the regular season win total number I put up there. You got to go over or under on this. 28% go under right now. 28% under. Hey, I'm kind of curious. Because this Venezuela 81 dude here, and I don't mind opposing opinions about it. He just disagrees. He thinks that they should have sold everything off and not taken a shot at Matthews and just stunk up the gymnasium for the rest of the season. How many of you out there believe that should have been the blueprint? How many of you out there believe that they should have traded the expirings, get pieces, don't sign other players, don't go after Wes Matthews, and play your younger guys and just see what happens? How many of you would agree with that? The large number, small number, or what? I'm just curious. Because, I mean, he's not the only one, and I'm not suggesting that he is. Just kind of curious how many people out there would agree with that. Thoughts? Bring it on. 239-1070 is the number. Want me to take? Hey, Pepe, you've been on hold forever. What do you got?
Hello, JMV.
Hello, Pepe.
How are you today, my friend?
I'm fantastic.
I wanted to apologize.
For what?
It was me. I let the bat in.
You left the bat in last night. What were you doing? How'd that happen? I
was outside smoking, and for some reason, I just could not seem to put it out.
You were outside smoking, and the bat got in, and you couldn't put your cigarette out in time to shut the door?
Yes.
Huh.
And he rode down to the game with me, my friend. He is very nice. Please do not hurt him.
Hey, man, anything goes comes up in like an hour.
Pepe, man, you're wasting this material at 4:54. Come on.
Oh, I am very sorry. I am sorry again, my friend. Pepe is just now going home. If you will look outside momentarily, you will see Pepe going around the circle in a gray truck with ladder racks.
Pepe, I don't know what to make of this day at all.
What's going on?
See, Pepe's posing. But the dude that called earlier, he wasn't posing. That was legit. The guy from Mission, Texas that called and called me bro about 700 times.
I haven't told no one, bro. I mean,
that guy's legit. You agree? Yes. Me too. All right, quick one. More me, more of you. Huh?
Did you just read that tweet? Is that what they really said?
Did they really say that? Go back and see. Was that Lover's Lane commercial?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that they said that. Richard Reeves. That's the tweet of the day if they actually said that. We'll check. Mike Wells in the Slow Jam re-entry for Wellsy. And you, other side next.
The Pacers' push toward postseason play continues. The blue and gold are fighting through injuries and adversity.
Oladipo is seated under the goal.
Taken off on a stretcher.
But we've been here before, and you know this team won't give up.
Thaddeus Young with yet another tremendous play.
Next up, the Cleveland Cavaliers come to town Saturday at 6:30. Every play of every game heard here. Your home for Pacers basketball is FM 107.5 at 1070 The Fan.
Hey, Dan Dockage here for my friends at Just Add Water Boats. There is absolutely nothing I love more than my Yamaha boat. Do not wait to buy that boat when it's hot out. Buy it now because Yamaha is enticing you with great deals now. And Just Add Water Boats is having their best of show sales event where you can grab as low as 0 down and 4.99 APR or as low as 3.99 for the first 60 months on Yamaha boats. Visit at 465 on the east side or check them out online at justaddwaterboats.com.
Did the words bezel and pave leave you feeling confused? We get it. Not everyone speaks diamond, but at Hellsberg, we do. Our diamond experts can help you customize an engagement ring that's just right. And we'll explain all the fancy words along the way. No pressure and no judgment. Hellsberg Diamonds, a Berkshire Hathaway company.
Valentine's Day is Thursday, February 14th. Make it the best one ever and pop the question with the perfect ring from Hellsberg Diamonds.
Hey guys, Valentine's Day is next week, and this year you can love big and save big with Sherry's Berries. Yeah, you get the best of both worlds, a great gift for your sweetheart and a sweetheart deal for you. For just $19.99 plus shipping, watch the love light up in her eyes when you send delicious dipped Valentine's strawberries from Sherry's Berries. Delicious berries dipped in dark, white, and milk chocolatey goodness, then covered in decadent toppings. Only from Sherry's Berries. All for just $19.99 plus shipping. And right now, you can add a dozen red roses to those amazing dipped berries for another $19.99, shipped together at no extra charge. That's Sherry's Berries for only $19.99 plus shipping and a dozen red roses for just $19.99 more. The only way to get this amazing deal is to go to berries.com, click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner, and use code 300. That's berries.com, click on the mic, enter code 300. Berries.com, code 300.
Here's what's happening with the Fan.
The 2019 Circle City Donut Dash, hosted by Teachers Treasures, is Saturday, February the 16th. Register now to run an Indy's tastiest 5K at 1070thefan.com. The Fan is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Like and follow the Fan for updates on all things Indy Sports Center. And you go to our website and you can find out where the next Fan event will be. Check out all of our live remotes, appearances, and more under the Events tab.
For more info, click on IndySportsCenter.com.
Hi, I'm Connor Daly, and February is Heart Month.
Between competing on the amazing race all around the world and being an IndyCar driver, I've learned that I can't take my heart health for granted. I've also got another great reminder in my little brother Carter, who was born with a heart condition called SVT. Just about every one of us is touched by heart disease in some way. It's the #1 cause of death in Indiana, and 80% of stroke and heart disease can be prevented just by making lifestyle changes and with education. So ask yourself, what can you do this month to change the way you treat your heart? I'll bet it leads you on an amazing race towards a healthy life.
Hi, I'm Larry Howald from Howald Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing, and I'm going to speak from the heart today and maybe get a little red. I'm all about family, though. 4 daughters, my wife Gina, my sister Linda, my dog Lucy. These ladies make my heart pitter-patter each day. Their wire company supports the American Heart Association and Indy Has Heart program. Did you know that heart disease causes 1 in 3 women's deaths each year, killing approximately 1 woman every minute? Get the facts, know the warning signs, and stay healthy.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Get a $70 reward card on the purchase of 4 Michelin tires, plus up to $120 in additional rebates. See store for details.
Hey, it's John for PAI. WeGrowHairIndy.com. How is the doing? I'm looking at you right now on YouTube on our 1070 The Fan channel. How's your dude doing right now? Is it losing a little steam, i.e. locks falling out, just not what it used to be? Do you want it the way that it used to be? Did you know that the way is through multi-unit hair grafting? Artist Robotic FUE at PAI. Darren Andrews will tell you all that you need to know about how you can get your real growing hair again. And if you want it, there is a way. I'm all about options. We love options in life, and this is one of those options. You can ask me too. It really does work. Your real growing hair again with PAI. WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Powered by the Hubler Auto Group, a dealer to help the people. Shopping for a new or used vehicle? Click drivehubler.com for Indiana's largest selection and best deals. Hubler has it all.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BV, W228CX, Indianapolis. Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Well, that's the story of my life. No respect. No respect.
On FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Now we get Mike Wells ready to go here. Not quite the type of slow jam he's used to right here, but there's a reason why we roll this in. Mike Wells of ESPN.com in just a second. Kevin Pritchard, Pacers president, podcast 1070thefan.com. Joined us last hour. Bob Lovell was there too. Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers, IU, a loser last night at home to Iowa. Don, bottom of the hour. Anything Goes. We've already kind of had an Anything Goes. Anything Goes for real is coming up at 6. Tony's got the call. Tony and Bob Lovell tonight. High school basketball game of the week at HSE. Sorry about that. Hamilton Southeastern and Carmel tonight. We're waiting on him here. JMV, did I hear that Lover's Lane commercial accurately? I think you did hear that accurately. There we go now. Mike Wells' re-entry is a slow jam. Not so slow here, kind of medium slow. Artist and song, Mike Wells on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Go ahead.
Hey, Jay, just know you got to hold on to your love with your girls from In Vogue, man. Somebody will come and take one of your boos away from you, man.
Let me tell you, I've seen them once in my life. How many times have you seen In Vogue?
I have never seen them in person.
Did you know that In Vogue is a part of the concert series at Conner Prairie in Fishers this summer? In Vogue, in fact, will be playing at Conner Prairie, Mike Wells, on June the 22nd. In Vogue.
No way.
Seriously, In Vogue. True story.
Who else is with them?
It's just them. You know, they had the Symphony on the Prairie stuff at Conner Prairie in the summertime, and they're going to be up performing.
Really? Hey, can you work your JMV magic and get us some backstage?
I believe we can probably get that done.
And you and I can be their biggest groupies behind backstage.
I was a huge fan. You know, I saw them back in this is a true story here. I saw In Vogue. They opened up. They were I think they were touring regarding this hit, Hold On, in 1990. September of 1990, they opened up for MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice. Out at the then Deer Creek Music Center. Yes. MC Hammer was the headliner. Vanilla Ice was obviously, going around. He was big time back then, and then In Vogue opened up for them both.
Hey, so were you out there doing the Running Man with some Ice Baby?
Man, I'm telling you, it was fun. That was fun back then, and that was when Hammer crossed over from Turn This Mother Out. I think everybody kind of liked, and then when he got really big and Can't Touch This, he kind of went a different direction than all the old school rappers wanted him to go, and it got a little crazy for him. But I mean, he was as big as anybody back then. I don't know. It's been tough to see two dudes. Think about this for a moment. Between he and Vanilla Ice, they both fell off the notoriety, the hype, the celebrity cliff about as quickly as anybody ever. Seriously, they just went right off the edge.
You're right about that. MC Hammer really fell off when he decided to what was it, Pumps in a Bump type came on.
That didn't work.
He's out there, and what was he in, Speedos or whatever, out by the pool and all that, showing his package off. That's when he really was no longer MC Hammer, man.
I remember he used to be on the sideline when Deion Sanders played for the Falcons. Remember, he'd be on the sideline there, and Jerry Glanville was the head coach.
Hey, so MC Hammer was pre-Drake then, in the groupie category of things.
Yeah, he was. He was. But he exclusively followed Deion Sanders around back then. And here's one more thing about In Vogue. Cindy Herron, we've had her husband on before. She has a long time been married to former Cincinnati Reds outfielder Glenn Braggs.
Really?
Go. Yeah. Long time now. So he was a good dude. He came on last year or the year before last. He was a really good interview.
I'm going to circle on my calendar, June 22nd. JMV, Wells, backstage, In Vogue.
In Vogue. Man, they were one of my favorites back then. I think Hold On was my favorite over anything else that they had. That was pretty good.
Man, yeah, no, we can. I can mess with In Vogue. I mean, we've had that conversation about In Vogue and Jade, between In Vogue and Jade.
Yeah,
I'll take In Vogue any day of the week.
I have to agree with you on that too. Between that and SWV and all that back then, I'd probably go In Vogue. Hey, you used to cover the Pacers, right? And you've covered a lot of trade deadlines, and you saw what the Pacers, really didn't do trade deadline wise, but they are picking up Wes Matthews. What do you think about what they're trying to do on the fly a couple of weeks after losing Victor Oladipo?
Well, I think you upgrade the two-guard position. I think, the key with Wesley Matthews is staying healthy. I think that's going to be the key for him. But I think you're upgrading. I think Tyreek Evans is better off of the bench. But before we get into that, Jay, I do need to make one little comment about the Pacers, man.
You do it.
Your boy Myles Turner, who you and I have disagreed on, has had a hell of a week, man. He has a hell of a week. Take away the one rebound he had against the Lakers on Tuesday night, but he still had 22 points or whatever. But 6 blocks last night. He has had a hell of a week. So I knew I was coming on here. Honestly, this was the main reason I wanted to come on today, is to give your boy props on the radio on how his week's, man.
Tell me this. You hear me deal with the negativity. Do you think he's ever going to live up to the expectation? Is there always going to be but with Myles Turner? What I mean by that is, he had 27 but 1 rebound. He had 17 and 6 blocks but 3 rebounds. Yeah, he had 15 rebounds but only 8 points. Is there ever not going to be a but attached to Myles Turner, for lack of a better question?
Because people want to moan and groan. They want to find a way to moan and groan. And specifically when you talk about him, there's always going to be a but, because they don't want to give you your props when he turns the corner. They don't want to give you props. They're going to find a way to nitpick and say, but your boy's still soft. Your boy's still shooting too many threes. Your boy let Embiid give him the business on the other end of the court. There's going to be a but always when it comes to your boy Myles, just because people know you enjoy him as a player. So they're going to find a way to nitpick.
I think that it's not even people that are anti-me. It just sometimes amazes me how people around here are so unwilling to give him any credit whatsoever. It's like he doesn't deserve it, or it's like they don't believe what they see. They don't want to be inaccurate. And that part, I guess, I don't understand because he still plays for their favorite team around here. But there's always that but attached to it, and I don't think that's ever going to go away around here with some.
Yeah, and you know what? And it's not only Myles. I mean, it's been like that with other players in the past too. I mean, you know, Mike Dunleavy had his best years under Jim O'Brien, put up great offensive numbers, but he couldn't play defense. Or, you know, Paul George has been an all-star, but he couldn't close out a game. He struggled to close out games for the Pacers. That's what everybody who's got a name on any team, that's going to be like that. T.Y. Hilton, you know, he's great with Andrew Luck. He puts up great numbers, but he'll slide before he gets to a first down. That just comes with the territory with players who have success.
I was talking to Kevin Pritchard a little bit earlier about Myles Turner, and I said he's kind of got a uniqueness that, you know, he is a face-up shooter, and he has been shooting it well from three, yet he is a rim protector. And trying to play he and Sabonis together, while they're trying to, and I know they want to, can be difficult because Myles would be more suited to guard somebody on the perimeter, yet you want him on the interior to protect the rim. And Sabonis, on the other hand, it would struggle guarding somebody on the perimeter, but you wouldn't want him on the interior when you have Myles in there too. It's just kind of an odd mixture. I mean, they have pieces, and you like the pieces to the puzzle, but it's kind of an odd mixture, especially with Myles being a rim protector and a three-point shooter.
No, it is. But so let me ask you this. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you've talked about it over and over again. Do you like those two playing together, or do you want one or the other on the court?
I'll be completely honest with you. I like it, but here's the reason why. It's because I want it to work. You know what I mean? And I think I'm a little more unwilling to look at the negatives because I so want it to work. I love having these guys on the team at the same time, and I'm probably unwilling to look at, you know, the shortcomings of it, which would be you look around the NBA and, you know, they're going smaller and smaller. They're not going bigger right now. So I completely understand the issue, but I'm right now, I want it to work so much that I'm kind of unwilling to look at the negatives with it. So that's just part of me. It's my problem.
And you know, you talk about people nitpicking and everything too. You know, like, oh, this team's going to fold, this team's going to fold. I mean, if there was anything, I mean, who knows where the Pacers are going to finish in the standings. But if anybody has watched this team under Nate McMillan since he became the head coach, the one thing you can never question is their effort. I mean, talent-wise, yeah. I mean, it's a big loss of Victor, and, you know, the talent's not the same. But effort-wise, this team will never quit. They're always going to compete, and, you know, they're going to lose games because they're going to be missing Victor scoring. But competing-wise, they will always be out there and be on the competitive side. So people, like, you know, when they struggled the first few games without him, oh no, the season's done. They're going to quit. Blah blah blah. That should have never even been questioned. That was never going to happen with this franchise.
Mike Wells of ESPN.com is on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I said this a little bit earlier. They fit the role of what, and you know this as sports fans around here covering both professional sports as long as you have, they fit the mold of what fans really love around here, and that is the absolute underdog. They were the underdog last year. Everybody embraced it. They were new, and it was great and fresh, and everybody embraced it. And now, I mean, you really get the underdog role because, think about it, they're in the top three right now in the East. You had Tim Legler on ESPN this morning go over the top four teams of the East and what they did and what he expects them to do, and they weren't even mentioned. They're in the top three, and they weren't mentioned as anything in the top four. That suits the fan base around here, I think, on point because they love their underdogs here. They always have and they always will.
Exactly, and that's why they'll be able to steal a game or two. Probably, you know, people probably say they shouldn't win. They'll steal a couple of those games going down the stretch. But what I was looking at the schedule. The schedule was in their favor over you know, going through at least the All-Star break. A lot of winnable games.
Yeah, March is tough. They got a tough schedule in March.
They got to go west and go to Portland and Denver and Golden State and stuff. But boy, I mean, if they keep building the confidence up and take care of their business over the next few weeks and stuff, and give themselves some more wiggle room in the Eastern Conference standings, I think hopefully they'll be able to survive when they hit the road quite a bit in March.
I asked this question, over under. I put it at 48 wins. They have 36 right now with 27 games remaining on the season. They're at 36, and I put the over under at 48. With the remaining schedule, just a thought in your mind, do you think that they'll win over 48 or under 48 for the regular season?
How many do they have left?
They have what, Tony? They have 27 remaining? Is that accurate?
Yep. 12 against teams over 500, 15 against teams under 500.
27. Yeah, I think it's 27.
And I'm gonna go over, but I'm not gonna. It's not gonna be over by much. I could definitely see.
Well, I said 49. I went over just by saying 49.
Yeah. I'm hovering at 49. I am hovering around the 49-50 range. No, I'm not gonna go more than 50.
Because you're right. I mean, right now, until the All-Star break, they have an opportunity. They get Milwaukee here on Wednesday, which is going to be tough. Milwaukee with Mirotic, you talk about just loading more to what a three-point shooting team and an offensive team that they have. That's big. I think Gasol is going to work out. It's going to be interesting to see in Toronto how he works and how they implement he and Ibaka and then Siakam as well on that team. That'll be interesting. And then Philly obviously adding a couple of days ago Tobias Harris. But that there are some games, if they just take care of what I believe, just by eyeballing it, Mike, they should take care of, they should get to at least 48 or 49.
So let me ask you this. Who are your top, when the dust settles and the playoffs start in the middle of April, who are your top four teams in the Eastern Conference? Who's going to finish 1 through 4? I'm
going to go Milwaukee, Toronto, Boston, Philadelphia, Pacers.
Okay, I like that.
You agree with that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, again, I know the Pacers are sitting where they're at number 3 and stuff. I just think the teams that made moves in the East are only going to get better. And I know Boston, crumbled and let the Lakers come into the Garden and beat them last night. But I just think, Boston's one of the top 4 teams in the East. And I think the Pacers are on the outside looking up and having to go on a road in the first round.
It's going to be tough for me to believe that Boston is going to fold like that. I don't think that's going to happen. And it's going to be tough, I think, for the Pacers to get in to the top 4, even with where they are right now. But I think that's where I have them. I think Milwaukee's going to be the best in the Eastern Conference. I think, Golden State's at the top of everybody's list, but you saw some East teams get better, and we'll see how the Pacers can compete, I guess, rest of the way here.
Exactly. Speaking of basketball, hey, what were you doing in my neck of the woods? What was it, last weekend or a couple weekends ago when you were at the middle school? What was going on out there?
Laney had a third grade game out there. So Laney played Brownsburg. The Perry Meridian team played Brownsburg and Franklin Central out there.
So hey, how did they do out here?
Got a couple of wins, and they play tomorrow at somewhere up in Fishers at the Indiana Basketball Academy. I think they play. Oh, let me think here. 2 they play tomorrow. Hamilton Southeastern and St. Pius, I believe, tomorrow. And then I think Sunday they play Hamilton Southeastern again. It's kind of weird. So,
hey, is your daughter a gunner like you on the hoop court, man?
No, she's more of a little hustler. I mean, she hustles and plays defense, and she's got a little swag into her game a little bit. I know swag doesn't show up, but she plays hard. She plays really hard. We're gonna have to learn the rest of the stuff. But
do you ever coach? Have you ever coached her any of her teams?
No. I sit back and let the professionals handle that. I don't do that. So I sit back. I sit back and I just show unconditional support, and I prop up the other girls and clap, and then I'll tell Laney some stuff, but I don't yell at officials or anything like that. I just kind of sit there.
Good.
So,
yeah, I'm glad because I'm glad you don't yell at officials.
No, I don't do that.
You go to too many games. These people, parents are all over the officials. Smart move on the coach. And I just finished my son's second grade team. You don't understand how many times we had silent drives home because he was mad at me on the way home because he said I was harder on him than other kids.
Oh, really?
Which, as I told him, I said, well, I'm your dad and your coach, so dad gets to be a little harder on you than other kids. But, yeah, there were times where he was very silent on the way home and didn't want to talk to me.
Did you ever take him out or sub him out of a game because of a mistake?
No. Well, since it's only a second grade league, they play by quarters, so you get the whole quarter and stuff. So, but there were times I'd whisper up the court and say, stop reaching and play defense with your feet. I mean, little things like that. And you know how it is. With our kids, we never know more than our kids, man.
And my secret weapon for Laney is Pixie Sticks. I get her all sugared up before games.
Hey, Tasmanian devil out there.
Right.
Man.
Go out there and get that ball. That's all. No, it's a good. We have a really good coach in Corey Scringe, and then she gets coached at times too by Ryan Tapek. Ryan Tapek played at IU, and Corey. They're both really good dudes, and I know Laney's really enjoyed playing for at different times. Both of them, yeah.
No, I tell people. Coaching my kids is always my chance to have a breath of fresh air. That's where I don't think about work. It's all about the kids, and I had a blast with it. So yeah, it's fun. I enjoy the coaching side of stuff.
I just like sitting there, I like sitting there watching, like driving the game with her and stuff. It's and back. It's always a good time that we have. So and then essentially what it is, and you know this too. It is as long as she enjoys it a great deal. So, I'll help her in whatever way possible to be right there.
Exactly.
So.
It's all about them having fun. As long as they're having fun when it's all said and done, we've done a good job, Jay.
It is. All right. What's on your calendar? You got the combine coming up in a couple of weeks, and
that's about it. Actually, I'm actually heading out to Bristol tomorrow, and to go do some in-studio radio on Sunday afternoon with Randy Scott, SportsCenter anchor.
Oh, you really?
On Sunday. So, yeah, first time I'll be in studio instead of doing it in my house. So I'm looking forward to a little trip out to the Northeast.
Wow, does this mean you going next level at ESPN Radio now? What's happening?
I don't know. I hope, but I hope I get even more opportunities. But, yeah, they give me my first shot to come out to Bristol to do it in studio, and as I always do, I got to give props to you and everybody else at 1070 for giving me plenty of practice on the radio out here in Indy.
That's awesome, man. That is really cool. How long will you stay there?
I'm going tomorrow, and I'll be back late Monday night. Get a chance to mingle with my .com bosses and stuff. But yeah, no, they said come on out, do the show in studio so I can see what it's like instead of me sitting in my office telling my kids to be quiet in the background.
Man, you get to sit and talk about LeBron James 9,000 times over the weekend. Man. That's awesome.
And you know what? You're right, because our show is from 12 to 4. Actually, it's 12 to 3. And then they're switching over to the Lakers and Sixers game on ESPN Radio. So, yeah, there'll be plenty of LeBron James talk on ESPN Radio, Sirius Channel XM 80, Channel 80 if y'all want to listen. So, yeah, it'll be a lot of LeBron talk.
One final thing regarding the Pacers. I'm just kind of curious. I've had a couple of people say, why did they just sell off their valuable pieces? The guys, they had 5 with 1-year deals and just build toward the future instead of just keeping these guys and then, bringing in Wes Matthews. I've had a couple of people suggest that has never worked around here. That's never really been done around here. But do you understand that aspect of it? Is that something that you think they should have thought about, or doing what they're doing? Should that have been the path? Is what Kevin Pritchard is taking.
I'm not a big fan of just throwing in the towel and saying, by doing that, you're saying, the season's a complete waste. We're going to rebuild, blah, blah. I don't believe in that. And, I know I have not covered this team since 2012-13 season, but I've known Kevin Pritchard going back to his Portland days. And Pritchard does not view it like that. He's not. I mean, when have the Pacers ever done that? That's not their mentality, how to approach things. Some other teams in the league may look at it that way, but that's not how the Pacers do it. And I'm actually glad they didn't, because again, they're not going. And I would be shocked if they even got to, if they make a run in the playoffs. But at the same time, being a blue collar team is how they approach things, and that's what they're going to do. What you look at the 1-year guys, the DCs, the Dads, all those guys are all competitors. They're going to get after it and compete, and that's just the way. And that's kind of Nate McMillan's mind frame. Put on the workman boots, grab those lunch pails, and go to work. And those guys fit that perfectly, and that's what's going to happen the rest of the season, whether they get the over on 48 or they get less than 48 victories.
I think that, to me, of the 5 guys that they have on 1-year deals, I think they want definitely Thad and Bojan back, and probably Corey Joseph, and Darren and Tyreek Evans would probably be on the outside looking in. But I think they'd probably want 3 of the 5 guys back. Would be yet another reason why they wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Victor's coming back. I mean, it's not like, oh, yeah, Victor's going to be done for the next couple of years. He'll be back, and they want to just pick up and go rolling. It's going to take him some time to knock the rust off, but he will be back out there playing playing basketball again, so everything's going to be fine. So, yeah, I was not on that notion. Trust me, I don't cover the team, but I received plenty of tweets saying, oh, yeah, trade away. I disagree with that 100%.
And let it be noted that Mike Wells is enjoying the game of Myles Turner recently, too. Let it be known.
Hey, you know how we wrote. You and I are the same way. You're the black me, I'm the white you, man. We have no problem giving credit when credit's due. We have no matter what the people on Twitter say, you and I will give credit when credit's due, and Myles Turner is playing his ass off these days.
It is. What do you got rolling over there, Tony?
This is my favorite right here. My favorite in Vogue.
Is that Don't Let Go?
Yeah.
In Vogue for Mike Wells. You can catch him on ESPN Radio nationally. And as always, right here every Friday on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Always a pleasure, man. Safe travels.
Hey, have a good weekend, Jay. Talk to you, brother.
So,
Later.
Mike Wells, ESPN.com. Andy Moore, Automotive Group hotline. Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers, talking about IU. They lost to Iowa at home last night. We'll get into that and a lot more with the voice of the Hoosiers. Other side next.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Get a $70 reward card on the purchase of 4 Michelin tires, plus up to $120 in additional rebates. See store for details.
Hey, Dan Dockett here with great news. We're super excited to have Window Nation as a new sponsor for our show, and they have allowed me to offer an exclusive deal for my listeners. Free windows. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. There is no limit. Buy 4, get 4 free, plus 0% financing for 5 full years. Plus, this week only, they will pay your heating bill until your new windows are installed. What a great way to kick off our new relationship. I've personally met the Window Nation team recently, and these guys are true window experts. They have installed over 500,000 windows and have been in more than 80,000 homes, and I can't wait to upgrade to new energy-efficient windows in my home. Window Nation is bringing their superior service and products to my listeners. So if you felt this recent cold blast coming through your windows and doors, you need to call today. 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION. Tell them Dan Dockett sent you.
At Diamonds Direct, love and romance are what we're all about. So for this Valentine's, we're making it easier than ever for you to give her that special gift that says I love you like nothing else can. Now through Valentine's Day, you can pick out the most romantic jewelry and enjoy 5 years, 0 interest financing. How about a $3,000 pair of gorgeous diamond stud earrings, just $50 a month? We've teamed up with top jewelry designers to offer a special selection of exquisite jewelry, rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, and more, starting as low as $200. You can even meet famous designers in-store Valentine's weekend. It's Diamonds Direct's best ever Valentine's event, with more choices, in-store appearances by world-class designers, and 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase. And yes, all engagement rings are included in this spectacular offer. Imagine a $6,000 ring, just $100 a month. Come let us help you find the ultimate symbol of your love with payments that make it more affordable than ever on approved credit. Now through Valentine's Day only, and only at Diamonds Direct. Keystone at the Crossing.
1 hour heating and air conditioning at 855 1 hour, making sure your unit's running smoothly right now, keeping you warm as the temperatures again are back down. Here, part of the problem is if you have a unit and you just don't notice it right, you don't notice that it's not heating your home the way that it should, and that's where the professionals at 1 hour come in. They bring in the experts, make sure everything's running smoothly, because if it's not only is it not going to keep your home warm and comfortable, it is going to cost you money, because there goes your energy right out literally the front door, costing you money. So bring in 1 hour heating and air conditioning, 855 1 hour, and if you need a repair, they'll slice $51 off of that repair. That's 1 hour heating and air conditioning, 855 1 hour today.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive Little Blue Pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. Right now, get your first month supply for free. All you pay is just $5 for your medical consultation when you go to 4hims.com/good. After that, it's just $30 for a month's supply. Sure beats paying big bucks for just one blue pill, doesn't it? Plus, you won't need an awkward in-person doctor's appointment to get the prescription. Hims has doctors online who can prescribe the medication, and a pharmacy sends it right to your door. It's affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To get your first order for just $5, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/good. That's forhims.com/good for your first month for just $5. forhims.com/good.
2018 model year closeouts. Bill Estes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has a limited supply of brand new, never driven 2018 vehicles that must be sold now. Get up to 35% off certain closeout models, aggressively priced to sell fast. Our excess inventory will be sold, but supplies are limited, so you can't wait. Up to 35% off new 2018 model year closeouts. If you have a trade, we'll take any trade in any condition. Just pull it, push it, or drag it in. And if it won't run, we'll even pick it up. You get up to $4,000 more for your trade at Bill Estes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in beautiful Brownsburg. Our excess inventory will be sold up to 35% off closeout models. Plus, we have demos, repos, and early lease turn-ins. Always guaranteed approval, always better priced. Bill Estes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, located in beautiful Brownsburg at the hottest corner in Hendricks County.
Dan Doggins, for family leisure, the annual store-wide floor model sale is on. Huge savings on floor model items store-wide. Save 20, 30, even 50% or more on display models. Pool tables, bars and bar stools, massage chairs, game tables, and everything for your man cave and more. It's time to make some room. Deep discounts on all remaining display model patio furniture, pools, and play gyms. Penland Pike and Oak Landing Road, or familyleisure.com. Tell them Dan sent you.
Do you need furnace or heat pump service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust like Marshall Home Comfort Solutions in Franklin? Find that American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
You can purchase Hoosier Basketball Magazine at HoosierBasketballMagazine.com or pick up a copy at locations across the state, including Barnes & Noble, Kroger, Meijer, and Payless supermarkets.
The Ride with JMV.
Pacers president Kevin Pritchard joins us. So how do you look at your team now after the Victor Oladipo injury?
You know, even with Victor going down, this team has stuck together, and I couldn't be, JMV, I couldn't be more proud of this team, to be honest with you. I mean, they're competing their tails off. We wanted a tough, hard-nosed team that plays together, plays smart, and has a chance to win some games.
The Ride with JMV, weekdays from 3 till 6 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. It's The Ride with JMV.
For Christ's sakes, will you cover yourself?
FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Truth is, we're in third place in the East. We went through a little bump. We lost a few games, but we got our mojo back. I'm hopeful that we can add another player to help us, but I don't really get caught up in the wins and losses. I know that sounds crazy. What I really want us to do is play the right way, and if we're competing at a high level, there's games where we have lost here, and I went, man, we played hard and played smart, we played together. I'm okay with that. So the wins takes care of themselves.
Kevin Pritchard earlier in the show, podcast 1070thefan.com. Missed any of it? Got more for you there. Pacers 36 wins, 36-19. Cavaliers here tomorrow night. Charlotte Monday night, Milwaukee Wednesday, New Orleans. Coming up on the 22nd. So there is a lot going on. Don Fisher's going to join us in a second, voice of the Hoosiers. He lost to Iowa at home last night. Tony's going to bail out of here about 15 till. He's got 7 o'clock he and Bob Love will have for you. High school basketball game of the week. That's HSE and Carmel for you coming up later on this evening, too. We got an Anything Goes top of the hour. In case you're wondering as well, the Pacers did make it official today. They announced they have waived Nick Stauskas annually playing in Italy. So that was officially done, officially announced regarding the waivers of for both Stauskas and Baldwin earlier today. Don joins us in a second. Big weekend, college hoops. We'll dive into that just a little bit more regarding Butler, regarding Purdue, and of course, IU's loss last night to the Iowa Hawkeyes. At JMV 1070, we are on Twitter. A lot of you have been chiming in regarding the interview with Kevin Pritchard a little bit earlier. JMV, that's the thing with the Pacers. Never good enough to win it. Always too good to get a high draft pick. Carlos Darden with this. How in the hell can you throw in the towel when you're 17 games over 500 with only, 27 or so remaining, 28? They've been past the tanking point. Carlos, I don't think it was tanking is what was suggested. It was getting rid of, if you could, a 1-year contract guy and just play out the string and let the young guys play and don't bring in Wes Matthews. That is not the overwhelming point that many are making. That is just a point that a couple were. But that's it wasn't so much about tanking as it was, all right, trade what would be assets right now, let the young guys play, and then figure it out next year. That's just from a couple. Gordo, I'd love to answer that question, but I can't. Normally, I try to work on it. The Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, always good on a Friday. Friend of the show, the voice of the Hoosiers, Don Fisher, joins us. Hello, Don. How are you?
Good, John. How you doing?
What's a weekend like when you play on a Thursday night, as the Hoosiers did?
I don't know. We've got Friday and Saturday off, so it's kind of unusual, to say the least.
It is a little bit unusual for you. And, yeah, that was a bummer last night. I expected a little bit more. I expected a little bit more after that win in East Lansing on Saturday than what you saw last night in that loss at home to Iowa.
Well, obviously, we didn't make it a multiple scenario in terms of winning the ball game. I did like the fight in the contest. I thought that they played hard. I thought the effort was there. Still a team that struggles to hit shots at times. They did not close out on threes very well on several occasions, and that's the one thing about Iowa. They've got so many guys that can knock down threes. Wieskamp did it in the first half, and Bohannon was tremendous in the second half. Of course, the shots that he made, the last two that he made were unbelievable threes. But all that said, obviously this team's still struggling to find ways to win ball games after going through a month in which they found ways to win every one of them back in December.
Did you think that this team was going to be as bad as they have been from distance in jump shooting, just really scoring the ball in general?
Well, I did think that they would still have problems finding, way to get it down behind the arc. I never thought this was going to be a great shooting team from outside because we weren't last year, and they lost probably the two best guys, Josh Newkirk and Rob Johnson, who could actually knock down threes last year, but just weren't consistent with it. So then you look at this roster coming in, and you hope that there are a couple of freshmen that might be able to help you out in that context, and Romeo has turned out to be less than expected in the three-point shooting area, although he has really shot the ball pretty well from behind the arc the last three games now. But he's not a volume three-point shooter. And without question, that's been one of the biggest issues with this team. I think during that little stretch where they had, big stretch where they had 7 straight losses, I really think this team lost its confidence. And, John, as much as I love Juwan Morgan, and I think he's a tremendous leader in the sense of his ability to show people by example what he's supposed to do, we don't have that verbal guy. We don't have that guy, and I think I said this last week maybe, and I'm not sure if I haven't said it a couple times this year. We don't have that edge guy. We don't have a guy that is not afraid to say what's going on, and you need to do this and you need to do that, and you've got to be better at this and, help us out a little bit. That kind of thing. We just don't have that guy, and there's nobody in this team that takes that role.
Who was the last guy that did that?
Mm-hmm. Well, just from an edge standpoint,
sure.
Gosh, I'd have to think about that a while because it's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
You could say that about Yogi. Yogi, as a senior, was really good at that. He didn't have any problems in doing that his senior year, and actually he kind of did it his junior year as well. But Yogi had a different role every single year he was at Indiana. As a freshman, he came in there, and he was obviously a very good point guard. But, you had all kinds of leaders on that team, and Jordan Halls being one of them, and Vic and Cody and those guys, they were all kind of leaders in some respect. the next year, Yogi obviously was forced into being a scorer because they just didn't have a lot of guys that could knock it down. And so basically he took over the role as a scorer in this team. And his third year, I think he kind of combined everything a little bit and became more of a leader in the sense of starting to talk and those kinds of things. And then as a senior, he did it all. So, I think Yogi was probably the last guy like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's easier said than done, right? Because I guess it's pretty obvious when you don't have it. I mean, normally speaking.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And honestly, they really didn't have it last year because Rob Johnson is a leader by example. He's kind of like Juwan in that sense, kind of a quiet guy that went about his business and really busted his tail out there, but just didn't get up into people very much. And it's something I don't think that you can make. You either are or you're not, And I'm not so sure that we don't have a guy like that on this team, but if we do, he's a freshman. It's that simple.
Yeah.
And so at this juncture, he's probably reticent to do something like that, especially with a guy like Juwan and Zach McRoberts, because both those guys are great leaders by example. They're just not the vocal guys that you need.
Don Fisher joins us. It's tough for me to suggest, especially in this day and age, that expectations are too high, considering how much hype, for example, somebody like Romeo got all through high school and coming out of high school. But can we look at that and say, with his overall game, the transition from high school to IU, were the expectations placed too high on him? Can you say that about him?
I don't know. I'll be honest, John. That's not my bailiwick. I'm not a philosopher in that regard. I'm not going to sit there and make, protestations about what he should or shouldn't be doing. I think he's a great young man. I think he's a really outstanding basketball player. He's got failings just like every other high school basketball player coming into college has. And at this juncture, if you can look at his statistics and say he's pretty much lived up to what your expectations might be because he's averaging almost 18 points a ball game, doing a very decent job on the defensive end of the floor. It does everything he's asked to do for the most part. He gets frustrated like any other athlete does, and sometimes that comes into play as well. So, honestly, just from a pure statistical standpoint, if anybody hadn't seen this team play and hadn't seen him play very much, they'd say, man, that guy's doing exactly what we expected.
Well, I mean, if they were winning, obviously, and didn't go through the streak that they're on right now, things would obviously be different as far as he is concerned. This is what's funny. Jeff Rabjohns told me this is going way back to November when they first started. He said, people have the wrong impression here. They're suggesting 25, 26 a game, and this guy's going to be dominant, and they need to dial that down a great deal. And as it turned out, he was absolutely accurate about it because, it's in the neighborhood of expectation and playing well, yet you had a lot of people suggesting that he was going to come out and, be and live up to like this Zion Williamson hype or the Duke freshman hype.
Right.
And it turned out kind of what Rabbi had talked about back in November.
Well, and let's face facts here. Romeo's come into a situation, too, where he is bigger than life. He comes to Indiana. Everybody thinks you're going to the NCAA tournament, maybe the Sweet 16, maybe even a Final Four. In fact, I heard a lot of people talking about, man, this is a team that's capable of going to the Final Four. Well, the reality of it is that this team has gone through a ton of injuries. And I don't want to make excuses, John, because that's exactly what it sounds like you're doing when you bring that up. But it's just factual. It's reality. And this team has missed a lot of players, missing practice, had a lot of players out because of their injuries for extended periods of time. I mean, Finney was playing terrific, and he gets a concussion, and he's out for a month. I mean, for heaven's sakes, what do you expect from him after he comes back? And I thought last night was maybe the first game he's come back and really looked like himself to some degree. He's still not shooting it like he was shooting it prior to the injury, but he really played well, I thought, last night and gave him some leadership out on the floor. But again, all those injuries have played into this. But the confidence level that this team lost after a couple of losses in this streak, in the negative streak, I think that's the one thing that has surprised me because I thought this team showed so much fight in that month of December when they were in very tight ball games, and they won every single one of them. It was a 12-2 ball club before they started Big Ten play again. or actually after the first game of the Big Ten play. And when you look at this team, they just lost their confidence like 3 or 4 games in a row, and they couldn't get it back. And they didn't get it back until the Michigan State game. So that is what has surprised me and kind of shocked me a little bit.
I know he didn't put up big numbers last night, but I want to go back to the Michigan State game and also talk about Deron Davis. I thought Deron Davis was the player of the game against Michigan State. He does give them a dimension that they so have been without this season, even in only scoring. I think he scored 44 points in 22 minutes, but, I mean, he still did a lot of things. He rebounded the ball. He had assists. I thought he did a good job last night coming off of really being, I thought, the best player with IU on Saturday in that win in East Lansing.
Yeah, he had 7 assists last night. He didn't score the ball a lot or anything, but he was able to, kick it out in double teams and that kind of stuff and get it to people in scoring positions, which is terrific. And Deron is a really good basketball player. He's still not in any kind of shape, or not in the kind of shape that he needs to be in at this juncture, but he's playing without limping around out there and looking like he's hurt. And he is asserting himself against the bigs that he's playing against. So that is much needed, no question about it. It also gives Juwan a chance to rest a little bit, although Juwan's rest last night was caused because he got in foul trouble. He saw 22 minutes of playing time. When you have what I consider your best player out there, because he does so many other things than just score the basketball or rebound, I think that really hurts your team. And, of course, last night it played into why Iowa had a 10-point lead at halftime, and Indiana couldn't cut enough into it to make it they did make it a game at the end, but they couldn't win it.
Ohio State coming up on Sunday at 1. Don Fisher's got a Friday night off and a Saturday night off, and then back to it on Sunday. Go on and watch a high school game or something tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. My wife, on Friday night, she gets home. She's been working 5 days, and the 9 to 5 trek, and she likes to stay home on Friday nights. I don't think I'll go out by myself tonight without her, though.
That's a hell of a call you're making right there. That's a good call. That's why you're a savvy, smart guy that we know you to be. Good call.
Yeah, trust me, I'm not nearly as smart as you think I am. I can tell you who the first person that would tell you that too.
I don't know, man. It sounds like that's a veteran move to me right there. Let me tell you. Hey, it's always a pleasure, buddy. Enjoy the broadcast. I like listening to you guys last night again, and we'll do it coming up on Sunday when Ohio State's in Bloomington. Thanks a lot, Don.
Appreciate it, John. Thanks.
So Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Anything goes in a little over 10 minutes. Back with you next.
Kick off the month of May at Rev, presented by Fifth Third Bank as it returns to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Saturday, May 4th. Tickets on sale now. Get yours before they're gone at revindy.org.
Introducing a phone that will change everything. This app will disrupt the world as we know it.
A TV is about to change everything.
Introducing what we've all been waiting for.
A car that will change the world.
This world thrives on new. We're always working towards what's next. And every day, a new thing comes that changes how we live. Sometimes a little more. We're always inventing and discovering new and better and faster. But maybe we shouldn't be looking to a product to change things. Maybe we don't have to look any further than ourselves. Introducing Looking Out for Each Other. The idea that even just a small gesture can have a huge impact. Introducing something you don't have to buy. You don't hold it, watch it, wear it, or drive it. Introducing something you do. Something that, if we all do, will truly change everything. It's bigger than banking. But as a bank, we'll do our part. Looking out for each other. Huntington. Welcome. Member FDIC.
PAI, we grow hair, Indy.com. Darren Andrews, all the information you need about getting that real growing hair again. Bald spot, thinning hair, forehead to a 5 head. It's multi-unit hair grafting. It's Artist Robotic FUE. It's PAI. Contact Darren. Get all you need to know and get that real growing hair again with PAI. We grow hair, Indy.com today.
Islanders in the Caribbean like to say that if you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes. Hi, I'm Rick Edelman, and that's great advice for the stock market, too. It's easy to get upset when the market falls, but what we have to remember is that this too shall pass. Now, that's easy to say, but sometimes it can feel hard to do. So in times like these, when stock prices are swinging wildly one day to the next, making you worry that your financial future might be at risk, here's the advice you need. Don't feel that you have to go it alone. I invite you to talk with one of my experienced financial planners at Edelman Financial Engines. Let's take a look at your investments and see if they're doing what you need and expect. We'll either reassure you that you're doing what you should be doing, or we'll give you recommendations to help you get the peace of mind you need so you can, well, wait for the sun to shine once again. Call us at 888-PLAN-RIC. That's 888-PLAN-RIC. Or visit us at rickedelman.com. That's ricedelman.com.
Got a great idea just in time for Valentine's Day. It is the world's softest pajamas from Pajamagram. So the unique original idea that just came to you by virtue of me telling you all about it. With Pajamagram, America's PJ experts for over 15 years. You're going to love the way that they feel. You're going to love the way that they look. And you're going to love the fact that they come already wrapped, meaning gift wrapping is not an issue for you. And they're here in time for Valentine's Day. Best part about it is you have this unique idea, but keep in mind other people, other dudes are going to have a similar idea with me talking to you about it right now. So make sure that you have all that you need to know with Pajamagram right now. Seriously, Valentine's Day coming up. Make sure with Pajamagram that you are good to go. Give them a call, 800-GIVE-PJS. That's 1-800-GIVE-PJS. Pajamagram.com. Tell them JMV sent you in time for Valentine's Day. Pajamagram.com.
Hey, business owners. Does your Wi-Fi ever slow down because of your customers? Do downloads lag when they stream videos? Ever tried to finish payroll while clients hog up your bandwidth? Then make the switch to Comcast Business. Our gig speed network is fast, and we go beyond fast when you add Wi-Fi Pro, which lets you allocate how much bandwidth you give to customers and your business. So while customers are busy streaming, emailing, and chatting, your employees can still be productive. Wi-Fi Pro on the nation's largest gig speed network. A great experience for your customers and your business. Switch to Comcast Business now for an amazing deal. Get 75 megabit internet for just $49.95 a month when you add 2 voice mobility lines and sign up for EcoBill and automatic payment. Wi-Fi Pro available for an additional charge. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Offer ends 2/28/19. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment taxes and fees extra subject to change.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Lovell, the host of Network Indiana's Indiana Sports Talk. But you also might not know that I suffered a near-fatal heart attack 11 years ago. And earlier in the year, in October, I had quadruple bypass surgery. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I never have. There's no history of heart problems in the family. It's Indy Has Heart Month. So in this month of February, make sure that you take the time to talk to your doctor. And if you have any symptoms at all, make sure you call them as quickly as you possibly can.
Hi, I'm Larry Howald from Howald Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing, and I'm going to speak from the heart today and maybe get a little red. I'm all about family, though. 4 daughters, my wife Gina, my sister Linda, my dog Lucy. These ladies make my heart pitter-patter each day. Their wire company supports the American Heart Association and Indy Has Heart program. Did you know that heart disease causes 1 in 3 women's deaths each year, killing approximately 1 woman every minute? Get the facts, know the warning signs, and stay healthy.
It's Lucas Oil Family Night when your Pacers meet the Cleveland Cavs Saturday at 7. Family Night tickets include food, drink, and Pacers hat. Get tickets at pacers.com/family.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Get a $70 reward card on the purchase of 4 Michelin tires, plus up to $120 in additional rebates. See store for details.
Powered by the Hubler Auto Group, a dealer to help the people. Shopping for a new or used vehicle? Click drivehubler.com for Indiana's largest selection of best deals. Hubler has it all.
Butler heads to D.C. to take on the Georgetown Hoyas tomorrow morning at 11:30 on FM 107.5 at 1070 The Fan. The Ride with JMV. FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Welcome back. We got Anything Goes coming up at the top of the hour. There you go, Chris. Can't leave the Velvet Revolver down there, Chris. Chris is going to be in for Tony. Tony's going to bail for HSE and Carmel. It's our high school game of the week tonight. He and Bob Love will have you coming up at 7 following Colts Happy Hour with Matt Taylor and Jimmy Mad Dog Matus, Bob Lovell, Mike Wells, Don Fisher, and Pacers president Kevin Pritchard on today. All podcast 1070thefan.com. A really good Friday. Our good friend Pete Dinwiddie, The man with two brains going to join us. So the Pacers coming up on Monday, too. Tony is out of here. Chris, you got this, do you? You got it? All right. We're going to find out how much Chris has it here. You want to know why? Because 6 o'clock means you guys got it? 6 o'clock means anything goes. It's your way, my way, anything goes at 239-1070. Here's what happens. It is the city's most unfiltered radio show ever. What happens is nobody checks you in. You dial the number, and then I immediately, or at least when I can, I bring you on. This is kind of how it goes. And then you talk about anything you want. Now, again, don't be a jack about it, but anything you want. That's why it's called Anything Goes. Your way, my way, anything goes. 239-1070 is the number. No check-in whatsoever. It is you and me beginning at 6 o'clock with Anything Goes. 239-1070. You guys love it. We hopefully have it for a while. Maybe you'll understand a little bit more why if you haven't heard it before. It's next.
Here at The Fan, we want to congratulate Andrew Luck, who is the NFL Comeback Player of the Year.
This is truly an honor. Being injured, missing football is no fun. Thank you for everybody that has helped me along the way.
We also congratulate Darius Leonard for winning Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I would like to thank Jim Irsay and the Colts organization for giving me the opportunity to play the game I love at the highest level.
Your home for Colts football. FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
On cold, snowy days, you just want to stay in the comfort of your home until your furnace breaks. Hi, I'm Corey Kreitzberger, General Manager at 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. For same-day repairs that will keep you warm and cozy, trust the highly trained technicians at 1 Hour. Call 855-1-HOUR today and get $51 off any repair. That's 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. License 8001-0668.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive Little Blue Pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. Right now, get your first month's supply for free. All you pay is just $5 for your medical consultation when you go to 4hims.com/good. After that, it's just $30 for a month's supply. Sure beats paying big bucks for just one blue pill, doesn't it? Plus, you won't need an awkward in-person doctor's appointment to get the prescription. Hims has doctors online who can prescribe the medication, and a pharmacy sends it right to your door. It's affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To get your first order for just $5, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/good. That's 4hims.com/good for your first month for just $5. 4hims.com/good.
This is a test of your Bill Estes Jeep awareness. Did you know the Bill Estes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram store is now open in Brownsburg? And right now, use your tax refund to double your down payment. So we'll match your tax refund up to $2,000 or get up to $4,000 more for your trade, even if you have to drag it in. New Jeeps and Rams at Bill Estes in beautiful Brownsburg. The hottest vehicles at the hottest corner in Hendricks County.
At Diamonds Direct, love and romance are what we're all about. So for this Valentine's, we're making it easier than ever for you to give her that special gift that says I love you like nothing else can. Now through Valentine's Day, you can pick out the most romantic jewelry and enjoy 5 years, 0 interest financing. How about a $3,000 pair of gorgeous diamond stud earrings, just $50 a month? We've teamed up with top jewelry designers to offer a special selection of exquisite jewelry, rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, and more, starting as low as $200. You can even meet famous designers in-store Valentine's weekend. It's Diamonds Direct's best ever Valentine's event, with more choices, in-store appearances by world-class designers, and 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase. And yes, all engagement rings are included in this spectacular offer. Imagine a $6,000 ring, just $100 a month. Come let us help you find the ultimate symbol of your love with payments that make it more affordable than ever on approved credit. Now through Valentine's Day only, and only at Diamonds Direct. Keystone at the Crossing.
Kyle Knezovich here for Body Sculpt RX. Dan Dockich and I lost a combined 38 pounds, and now I'm doing Cool Sculpting. Cool Sculpting is the #1 non-invasive lipo procedure in the U.S. and can reduce fat from areas that working out and diet can't do. I worked out the same day as being Cool Sculpted. See the certified medical staff at Body Sculpt RX for your free consultation. The 45-day cleanse, shape reclaimed program. Cool Sculpting. Dan Dockich and producer Kyle approved.
Hoosier Basketball Magazine, which covers all high school boys and girls teams, is available for purchase by calling 317-925-9200 or HoosierBasketballMagazine.com.
This is Indy Sports Center.
WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BB, W228CX, Indianapolis.
On Monday, I'm going to talk to Fish. We're going to talk IU basketball. It's really a big weekend for basketball all over the country. We're also going to continue our talk about the Pacers. Noon to 3, Dan Dockich.
The Ride with JMV, FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
All right, turn me up over there. Chris is in for Tony. Tony's off to HSC and Carmel tonight. Kevin Pritchard, Bob Lovell, Mike Wells, Don Fisher, podcast 1070thefan.com. Anything goes time. Again, you call 239-1070. There's no check-in. Completely unfiltered call-in radio like you're never, ever going to hear, which sometimes can be pretty good. Well, I take that back. Most of the time, it's incredibly interesting. Sometimes it can be pretty good. Oftentimes, it can be cringeworthy, which all of the above means it is must listen. Like John Watson says this. Hey, JMV, anything goes. Friday traffic on the way home stinks. Naptown once more. Pepe called in earlier. Then I had some guy call in from Texas a little bit earlier who was on probation. And that was classic. Anything goes. Bottom of the hour. Matt Taylor, Jimmy Mad Dog made us. It is the last word before we get to the high school basketball game of the week with Tony Donahue and Bob Lovell. HSC and Carmel is coming up at 7 o'clock. 239-1070. My way, your way. Anything goes. Whatever you want to hit. You can go Pacers with us. You can go college hoop. You can go NFL. You can go Colt. Anything goes. Hence the name. Anything goes. It's been a blast so far. We just hope it lasts. But it has been a blast. Whatever you want to do. Like yesterday, I'll give you a great example. Yesterday, dude calls in and wanted to do a little improv on here. Had his own improv. Invited people out, and we did a little bit of improv. Whatever. That's why we do Anything Goes here. At 239-1070. Email address if you want to sneak it in at jmv at 1070thefan.com. And on Twitter at jmv1070. Still live, local, and late breaking as well. We are on YouTube. It is 1070 The Fan, the YouTube channel. My way, your way, anything goes. You're up first. Who's this?
The YouTube channel.
Who is this? Turn your radio down in the background. Well, who you got? Who's this?
Hi, my name is Scott.
Go ahead, Scott. What's up?
I'm a huge, football, baseball fan, and I think a lot of big name players who are holding out for this, big time money who have earned it. Guys like Craig Kimbrell or even Le'Veon Bell who've shown, we can do the work and pay us are being really overshadowed now by a lot of younger guys who are winning huge contracts like Harper or Manny Machado and really haven't shown the years of work. So I don't know. I guess I'm just.
You don't think Bryce Harper and Manny Machado have shown years of wanting to or should be getting that type of paycheck that they want? They don't think so?
I think $300 million contracts are
wow.
Huge.
I think it's ridiculously outrageous. I would tell you this. I think that they deserve to be among those highest paid in Major League Baseball, but the number you just gave is completely outrageous, yeah.
Yeah.
What else you got?
That's really it.
Scott,
it's
thank
been
you.
nagging me, so I thought I'd call it.
You can call anytime, Scott. That's what we call it. Anything goes at 239-1070. You're on. Who's this?
Yeah, this is James Jonathan.
James Johnson or James Jonathan?
James Jonathan, like a high-end Jimmy John's.
That is like a Jimmy John from Southern Indiana that's a little bit more proper. I got you. Go ahead.
You think Indianapolis would be more likely to support an MLB team or an NHL team?
It's a good question. Can I say neither? Can there be a C? I don't think they have enough to ever do an NHL team, and I don't think they have enough to do an MLB team either. And the problem they have there, they have too many cities in close proximity to ever do it. Nobody's going to agree to that. 2 Chicagos, a St. Louis, a Cincinnati. I mean, hell, even in Detroit, it's just never going to happen. I remember back in the 80s, Art and Gotti tried to bring in the Indianapolis Arrows, and it's just not going to happen. I think what you see with the Colts and the Pacers professionally right now, maybe work in sometime down the road some kind of upper scale, upper league soccer program, maybe. But I would severely doubt ever seeing an MLB or an NHL team here. Anything else?
That's all we got.
You call anytime. Thank you. My way, your way. Anything goes at 239-1070. Who's this?
Greg.
Greg, go.
Hey, I wanted to know what's going on with are we ever going to go over the luxury tax for the Pacers or the Colts?
You're never going to go over the luxury tax for the Pacers, ever. No. Never.
Well, what about the Colts? We have $59 million sitting on or whatever, but are we really going to play in this market or not?
No, seriously. They have a plan. I don't know what Chris Ballard is going to do other than what he's already shown he wants to do, and that is build from within. I think they're going to utilize free agency, but I don't think they're going to go out there big swinging at anything, if that's what you're asking me.
Well, I'm asking you, like Oklahoma City's over the luxury tax constantly, and are we really going to pay, to play or not?
No, I don't think they're ever going to pay. They're never going to go over the luxury tax. No, to answer your question, they're just not. They being the Pacers.
Well, then we're going to be 5th seed constantly.
I don't know if they're going to be 5th seed constantly, but they're not going to go over the luxury tax. They're just not.
So why?
Because they don't want to go over the luxury tax. I mean, think about Houston. Houston right now, Houston hadn't won anything yet either, and Houston needed luxury tax relief courtesy of the Pacers. So nobody really wants to go over the luxury tax. Nobody really does.
Not. But if you want to compete, you got to kind of.
There's no assured. There's no assurance that you're going to be able to compete even if you go over it.
Well, agreed. Houston is the same. So why are we helping now? We get a second round pick, which is kind of ludicrous.
Well, that's just what they wanted to do. They felt good. Well, you tell me what the real problem is. That to me, that's not the issue I have with them right now. What's the issue that you really have?
I mean, you know more about this than me, but we can have 3 other players and get really above the luxury tax.
These players have to want to be here too. You have to keep that in mind. I mean, nobody is ever sure that any of these, top line great players, regardless of the cap space you would have anyway, would want to be here. I mean, that's what makes this place we love is a difficult sale. It is.
I know, but Wesley Matthews, who he could go to OKC, he could go to a lot of different places, and he chose Indiana, I guess, for a reason. So I think we can get those guys. But we need to, tell people that, hey,
my brother, that is. Thank you for the call too. That is different. Wes Matthews, in the twilight of his NBA career at 32, is a lot different from Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant and Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis is not a free agent this year, but I think you understand what I'm talking about. Kawhi Leonard, it's different. It's not the same. Right now, Wes Matthews would choose or has chosen, once it's officially announced, the Pacers, I'm assuming because of the clock that he's going to get, because of the playing time he's going to get. I mean, he could have decided to choose OKC, but he probably wouldn't get anywhere near the same playing time. It's more about playing time and opportunity here than it is anything else. But you don't compare Wes Matthews to the free agent list that you're going to see in the summertime when it comes to the big elite names of the NBA. My way, your way, anything goes at 239-1070. Who's this?
This is Willie.
Go ahead, Willie.
I just want to know, when are you going to have the Andy Moore girl on the show?
I can if you want. I know her a little bit. So Mackenzie Roth is a good girl. I like her. Yep.
I do too.
You want me to get Mackenzie on sometime?
Yes, sir.
All right. That's a quick. Now, what's your name again?
Willie.
Willie, if Mackenzie Roth is listening or anybody knows Mackenzie, tell Mackenzie that Willie wants her on the show sometime. So there's the bat signal is officially out for Mackenzie Roth, courtesy of Willie right now.
You're the greatest.
Thank you, my brother. Yeah. Mackenzie Roth, Willie wants you on this show. Line 3, you're on the air. Who's this?
Tim.
Go ahead, Tim.
Hey, John. How we doing?
Great, buddy. How are you?
Oh, doing well. First time calling in on Anything Goes.
I love it. Go ahead, man. Put it on the tee and hit it.
I will enjoy the morning show. You know who this is. Just a quick question.
Yes.
Do you think the Pacers would have won a championship the year the Miles at the Palace?
I think that would have been their greatest opportunity since the Pacers have been here. Yeah, since the Pacers have. Let's just go. Back. Prior to the ABA days, obviously they won, but yeah, the NBA Pacers, that was their greatest opportunity, no doubt.
Okay.
To me,
I was just having a debate with a few people at work, and I said that was the best opportunity.
What were the people saying at work? Were they talking 2000?
No. I hope not.
No, I mean no. Were they talking the team that made it to the NBA Finals and then lost in 6 games to the Lakers? Did they think that was the best opportunity?
They were thinking the Lakers were still going to stomp everybody, and I'm not sure if someone.
Yeah, I think that the
Pistons were still relevant. Still,
04 and 05 was going to be their best chance. Yeah.
Who ended up playing in the finals that year, John?
Was it the Pistons and the Lakers that year, or the Pistons and the Spurs? I can't remember.
I think it may have been.
Yeah, I think it was the Pistons and either the Lakers or the Spurs, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Either one. But yeah, I still think that was our best shot, and before that game we were crumbling them in anyway.
Yeah, that was I think that is I think that's pretty accurate. It's still a debatable point, but I think it's pretty accurate that'd be the case. Yeah.
One shove and one beer had to do that for us.
That's it, man. That ended it right there on November 18th, 04. Ended the season. Anything goes at 239-1070. You're on the air. Who's this?
It's Danny.
Go ahead, Danny.
This Anything Goes?
Yes, it is. Go ahead.
All right. I need some Valentine's advice.
I'm ready.
All right. So, a couple weeks ago, I'm proactive and getting order the wife the flowers. And, last week or just this last weekend, she comes in and tells me she doesn't want to do anything for Valentine's Day. So I call in, cancel the flowers. And then today, out of nowhere, she texts me her the address of her work with her work's phone number, even though I already had this. She just sent it to me randomly saying, if you need this for emergencies. So now I think she wants flowers, even though she said she doesn't want any.
Right. I think everybody wants the thought, man. I would refire up that order. I know most people, and listen, I'm not a flower guy. I do the pajamagram stuff and I do the Diamonds Direct stuff right now. But I think that she just wants the thought. It doesn't necessarily have to be flowers, but it's just the thought. The more original, the better. And certainly if you go with a diamond or jewelry, that is always going to be a key right there. But the originality is something there too. But I think it's most of all the thought that counts on Valentine's Day more than anything else.
Appreciate it, brother.
You call anytime. Anytime I can help, I'm right there. Because clearly, as you know, with my life, I've handled nothing when it comes to my wife. Well, without somebody helping me. I needed advice like me back in 1999 or 2000. Line 5's Anything Goes. Hello, who's this?
Hey, it's Nate, JMV. I just have a question for you, man.
Yes,
Since
sir.
we got rid of Jim Mora with the Colts, we've always had a player's coach. So, Dungy was a player's coach, Caldwell, even Pagano, and I feel like Reich is as well. So as we keep talking about culture, we keep bringing in the same kinds of coaches who keep playing the Tampa 2 that bend don't break, and we kind of still run similar offenses that's a quarterback-driven. Even with Frank Reich, we did switch it up a little with the run. What is it that we keep this same culture? Why is it that we can't possibly go out and get Bell, like you said, after Kansas City or AB?
I would agree with that. I don't necessarily – I think you bring in Frank Reich, and I've compared him before to Tony Dungy, and I think for good reason, because I think they're the same type of guy. They have the same type of personality. Certainly they get the respect without the screaming and the yelling, and I would agree with you. I mean, I think that you could go out and you could bring somebody in with, a questionable situation or some issues. And I think because of the locker room that you have now, because of the leadership that you have right now, that person would fit in just fine. I would have zero issue with that. I would agree. Absolutely would agree. And I think that the locker room culture that you have built, the head coach personality that you have, just like with Tony Dungy, if you wanted to do that then, I think that would have worked as well. I do, just because of the personality and the belief in the head coach. And again, that locker room cohesion that you have, I think that you could do that, and I would feel good about it. And I don't think that it would cause issues. But there are a lot of people that would say that my opinion is wrong with that in mind.
Yeah, a lot of people say that about your opinion, man. But,
No question.
That's the same thing with the afternoon guy and Dan Dockich. They love to hate on him, but he's just on there, telling his opinion. But I just don't want to see him stuck at second base again like I saw in that Kansas City game, JMV. I don't want them to be surprised that they're there. I want them to have that hard-nosed culture like we want the Pacers to have. The 11 to the ball, the speed.
Listen, I understand, but don't let that fool you. I think that this Colts team, is still hard-nosed. I do. I just think that I think that he's just a laid-back coach, much like Tony Dungy. I think most people around here enjoyed what Tony Dungy brought, right? And the guidance, the leadership that he brought. So I think Frank Reich, and I've always said this, I think he is similar personality-wise, and I know that's why I like him a great deal for sure.
Okay. All right. Thanks, James.
You call anytime, Nate. Thank you. Call anytime. My way, your way, anything goes at 239-1070. You're on. Who's this?
Logan.
Is this Logan? Go ahead, Logan.
What do you think? How far do you think Romeo Langford will go in the draft, and what kind of player will he be?
Thank you, Logan, for the call. I think he's probably going to go somewhere around 15. He might be ultimately outside of that lottery realm. He keeps moving back. I think somewhere around mid-teens in the NBA draft. And I don't hold out a great deal of hope that he is going to be a huge difference maker in the NBA. He is going to get a paycheck, and he is going to play for a while. But difference maker-wise, I don't see that with his game translating. I don't. But he will be in the NBA, and he will get drafted in the first round, and he will leave IU. He will get drafted in June in the first round. But as far as the difference maker, that part I don't see. Logan, thank you. Anything goes. Over. Nan in Indy tells me Mackenzie does not live here anymore. Where's she live then? She doesn't live here? I didn't know that. Chris, great job out of you, man. Thanks for coming in. Tony, Bob Lovell, top of the hour, 7 o'clock. You got him. High school basketball game of the week. HSE and Carmel. Matt Taylor, Jimmy, Mad Dog Manus on the other side. Colts Happy Hour is up next. Kevin Pritchard, Bob Lovell, Mike Wells, Don Fisher, podcast 1070thefan.com. Have a fantastic weekend.
Powered by the Hubler Auto Group, a dealer to help the people. Shopping for a new or used vehicle? Click drivehubler.com for Indiana's largest selection of best deals. Hubler has it all.
Our customers tell us that it's easy to love a Shane Company diamond because of its unmatched sparkle. Hi, I'm Tom Shane.
And I'm Ed. With over 30 years' experience as a diamond buying specialist, I can assure you that the unique way we buy diamonds at Shane Company sets us apart. My team handpicks the most beautiful diamonds in all 3 diamond capitals of the world, Antwerp, Tel Aviv, and Mumbai.
No other jeweler buys diamonds the way we do. We are Indiana's direct diamond importer.
We examine each stone individually and only buy the prettiest diamonds within each grade. Our rigorous evaluation and selection process guarantees that your Shane Company diamond has maximum sparkle, whatever grade you choose.
And everyone in Indiana knows a Shane Company diamond is a natural diamond. We've been importing the prettiest diamonds, all ethically sourced, for 4 generations. Now you have a friend in the diamond business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
Hey, Dan Dockich here with great news. We're super excited to have Window Nation as a new sponsor for our show, and they have allowed me to offer an exclusive deal for my listeners. Free windows. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. There is no limit. Buy 4, get 4 free, plus 0% financing for 5 full years. Plus, this week only, they will pay your heating bill until your new windows are installed. What a great way to kick off our new relationship. I've personally met the Window Nation team recently, and these guys are true window experts. They have installed over 500,000 windows and have been in more than 80,000 homes, and I can't wait to upgrade to new energy-efficient windows in my home. Window Nation is bringing their superior service and products to my listeners. So if you felt this recent cold blast coming through your windows and doors, you need to call today. 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION. Tell them Dan Dockich sent you.
Hey guys, Valentine's Day is next week, and this year you can love big and save big with Sherry's Berries. Yeah, you get the best of both worlds, a great gift for your sweetheart and a sweetheart deal for you. For just $19.99 plus shipping, watch the love light up in her eyes when you send delicious dipped Valentine's strawberries from Sherry's Berries. Delicious berries dipped in dark, white, and milk chocolatey goodness, then covered in decadent toppings. Only from Sherry's Berries. All for just $19.99 plus shipping. And right now, you can add a dozen red roses to those amazing dipped berries for another $19.99, shipped together at no extra charge. That's Sherry's Berries for only $19.99 plus shipping and a dozen red roses for just $19.99 more. The only way to get this amazing deal is to go to berries.com, click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner, and use code 300. That's berries.com, click on the mic, enter code 300. Berries.com, code 300.
Hi, I'm Connor Daly, and February is Heart Month. Between competing on the Amazing Race all around the world and being an IndyCar driver, I've learned that I can't take my heart health for granted. I've also got another great reminder in my little brother Carter, who was born with a heart condition called SVT. Just about every one of us is touched by heart disease in some way. It's the #1 cause of death in Indiana, and 80% of stroke and heart disease can be prevented just by making lifestyle changes and with education. So ask yourself, what can you do this month to change the way you treat your heart? I'll bet it leads you on an amazing race towards a healthy life.
Hi, I'm Larry Howald from Howald Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing, and I'm going to speak from the heart today and maybe get a little red. I'm all about family, though. 4 daughters, my wife Gina, my sister Linda, my dog Lucy. These ladies make my heart pitter-patter each day. Their wire company supports the American Heart Association, and Indy has heart program. Did you know that heart disease causes 1 in 3 women's deaths each year, killing approximately 1 woman every minute? Get the facts, know the warning signs, and stay healthy.
2018 model year closeouts. Bill Estes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has a limited supply of brand new, never driven 2018 vehicles that must be sold now. Get up to 35% off certain closeout models, aggressively priced to sell fast. Our excess inventory will be sold, but supplies are limited, so you can't wait. Up to 35% off new 2018 model year closeouts. If you have a trade, we'll take any trade in any condition. Just pull it, push it, or drag it in. And if it won't run, we'll even pick it up. You get up to $4,000 more for your trade at Bill Estes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in beautiful Brownsburg. Our excess inventory will be sold up to 35% off closeout models. Plus, we have demos, repos, and early lease turn-ins. Always guaranteed approval, always better priced. Bill Estes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, located in beautiful Brownsburg at the hottest corner in Hendricks County.
Dan Dockich here. Thanks to KeyBank, the official banking home of the Indiana Pacers, we can keep making financial progress here and, of course, keep growing basketball here. KeyBank, use the red key, and remember, KeyBank is a member of the FDIC.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Get a $70 reward card on the purchase of 4 Michelin tires, plus up to $120 in additional rebates. See store for details. If you're in a building that catches fire, get out and stay out. It's your fire-safe response.
It takes everyone in the community working together to create a brighter future. Give Advocate, volunteer, live united. Visit liveunited.org to learn how you can help.
Your support helps the Red Cross be there every day for disasters big and small. Make your donation today by calling 1-800-RED-CROSS or by visiting redcross.org.
It's Friday, and this is the last local show before you start your weekend. The NFL never sleeps, and we're talking Colts on The Last Word with Jimmy Mad Dog Matus and Matt Taylor.
You know what that means. It's time for The Last Word. Sit down, big fella. Jimmy Mad Dog Matus in studio. I'm Matt Taylor, and this is the last local show before your weekend hits here on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. We specialize in talking about the Indianapolis Colts, and we got a lot to talk about tonight. The offseason is in full swing. The draft is down the road. Free agency in about a month. The NFL Combine will hit town in a few weeks. So it is roster mechanics time for the Colts. And tonight, Dog, on this first segment, I want to hit you with some wide receiver questions. I've got some receiver questions because depth at that spot, it's an interesting topic this offseason for the Colts, yes?
They obviously need to look at every position. That one probably is up at the forefront. To make some additions to get some more competition in camp. But I thought it was serviceable.
Yeah.
And I thought T.Y. was great.
With that in mind, then, Dontrell Inman and Ryan Grant are both free agents. How would you prioritize those guys and their candidacy, if you will, to come back in free agency?
Well, I thought Dontrell proved his worth, and I think certainly you'd like to get him back if you can. And I think it won't break the bank. And so I would certainly go there. I don't know as much of what they're thinking about Ryan, but I think Dontrell in particular is one that certainly they're going to want to have back.
I mean, Dontrell was one of those glue guys. He was great for the locker room. I mean, he came in and fit in, right away. He obviously had that great relationship with Nick Sirianni and Frank Reich earlier in his stop at San Diego. But he came in when he was here, when he played, the Colts were 10-2. He and Andrew Luck bonded. I think Andrew Luck had a passer rating of 133 when he was targeting Inman last year. So I think there's a lot to be said for just how quickly he came in and established rapport with the offense, the entire locker room, and he was very productive. That's hard to do when you come in the middle of October.
Couldn't agree more, and that's why I think without question they're going to want to keep him around if possible. And as I said, with Ryan, it's a little bit different situation, so I don't know what they'll be thinking.
Yeah, Ryan Grant, injuries played a part of it late in the season, but in the last 12 games, Ryan Grant did not have one game with more than 2 catches or 25 yards receiving. So it'll be interesting to see where the Colts prioritize him in free agency. My next question for you, Dog, is Deon Cain. Deon Cain, we know, drafted last year, had a great I don't even want to say preseason, but training camp. In practice, he looked great because he tore his ACL week 1 against Seattle. So is Deon Cain good enough to be the Colts' number 2 wide receiver as early as next season?
We have no idea.
Right?
Right? You just don't know. He certainly came in heralded. They liked him as a college player. Came in, had a very productive camp. They were excited about it. But you haven't seen him, and you're coming off an injury. So he missed the years of experience in the league, and's coming off an injury. That's going to be tough. That being said, he was highly thought of going in, so I'm certain he's still highly thought of coming in this game, and you certainly hope that he can.
And at the earliest, it would be August, right? And then at what percentage of Deon Cain is he at that point? So I just don't think you can bank on Cain coming in and being an immediate impact player in week 1, A, having never played a game in the NFL, and B, coming off a major injury like that. So,
but you also don't know that he can't.
That's right, too. That's right, too.
That's the flip side of that coin.
But I just think you need to have – I don't think you can bank on that.
I think you would have anyway, right?
Sure.
If Deon Cain would have played this season, had a good productive season, doesn't mean you're not going to look to try to bolster that position anyway.
Right.
So I expect, as Chris Ballard said from day one, continues to say, we're going to get a competitive camp. And we're going to have them in there, hey, here's your opportunity, go earn it, whether it's guys who are currently on the roster or guys that are going to come.
So the natural transition from that is, do the Colts go after guys on the open market or guys that we think will be on the open market like uber talents Antonio Brown?
I don't believe he's a fit. I think with too many other things going on and building it the way they want to build it.
Just ran into some more trouble in Florida.
I just don't think it works here. And I don't think you bring it into this team the way you're building this team. And let's remember, some of the best receivers the Colts have ever had, we drafted, right? We didn't go out and get. That we drafted them. You can find them. You've got to look. It might not be as quick as some fans want. Yeah, I think it's the better way to go.
Yeah. The next question then is, should the Colts draft a receiver? Should that be the number one priority for the Colts, drafting a receiver in the first round?
Only if that receiver, in my opinion,
Best player available?
Is definitively better than a defensive lineman that's available. Not necessarily best player at any other position in my mind, but certainly there. I believe this. I believe you have to do two things in the NFL, and that is get after their quarterback and protect yours.
Yeah.
And I think we're there. We had a really productive season, had some really good play up front, but I'd like to bolster that first. Now, if you think this wide receiver is much more valuable than defensive lineman that's available,
I would agree.
Then I would go that way. But
Yeah.
I think I'd go DL first if it was me.
Yeah, I just don't know if receiver is at the top of the list. It's obviously high, I think. It's high on the list. But I just think defensive line play, pass rusher is more of a priority now. To your point, if that guy isn't there, then you draft best player available, and if he's a wide receiver, so be it. But I think the defense is going to be that unit that allows the Colts to take the next step next season.
The guys who really study this and watch this think that it's a pretty solid defensive line class, pretty deep defensive line class. So it looks like you could probably get a pretty good defensive lineman where we pick. But that being said, if you've got a wide receiver who you think's one of the top 10 picks in the draft and he falls to you,
yeah.
Well, then you might decide that we'll change that because it's a deep defensive line draft. We can still get the guy we want or one of 3 or 4 guys that we want with our next pick.
That's Jimmy Mad Dog Matus. I'm Matt Taylor. This is the last word. Those are the questions for the Colts regarding wide receiver in the offseason. By the way, real quick, how about a salute to Matt Slauson? Decides to retire this week. 10 years in the NFL, played for 4 teams, including the Colts last season, went on IR in Week 5 with a bad neck injury, but he was a workhorse, always there, 115 career games, 113 starts, came in last offseason for the Colts, and the offensive lineman, but really the entire locker room, dog, you could just see guys gravitated towards him.
You're obviously much closer to that than I am, your access, and you see the interaction, but everything that I've seen and heard is you needed a guy like that with this young offensive line that we have to talk to him about. This is how you prepare. This is how you get back after a game, and this is what you need to do here and there.
Right.
And for him to come in and do that even after the injury should be applauded.
And I think he's found that coaching is in his blood, so it's going to be interesting to see what the next move is for Matt Slauson. So we got one guy exiting, another guy coming back, dog. The Colts this week have rehired, if you will, Howard Mudd. He's coming back to the Colts coaching staff. That was announced on Thursday. We'll talk about that and visit with one of his former players, Ryan Deem, coming up on the other side. With Jimmy Mad Dog Matus, I'm Matt Taylor. This is the last word, and we're coming back for more right after this on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Grand Park Sports Campus in Westfield is a family sports destination like no other. Home to the Indianapolis Colts training camp. Their 400-acre campus features 31 multi-purpose fields, 26 diamonds, and over 10 miles of trails. Plus, the 370,000-square-foot Grand Park Event Center features a restaurant, bar, and 3 indoor multi-purpose fields. For more information, visit grandpark.org. Grand Park, proud home of the Colts training camp.
Introducing a phone that will change everything. Introducing what we've all been waiting for.
A car that will change the world.
This world thrives on new, but maybe we shouldn't be looking to a product to change things. Maybe we don't have to look any further than ourselves. Introducing Looking Out for Each Other. The idea that even just a small gesture can have a huge impact. It's bigger than banking, but as a bank, we'll do our part. Looking out for each other. Huntington. Welcome. Member FDIC.
Being a Colts season ticket member has never been more rewarding. From exclusive events and VIP access to discounts at the Colts Pro Shop and the chance to go to the NFL Draft, Pro Bowl, and Super Bowl, there's never been a better time to join our season ticket member family. Reserve your seats for the 2019 season today and experience this game, this team, and this community like never before. Call 317-297-7000 or visit Colts.com/tickets to learn more.
Bullseye Event Group's VIP Colts Tailgate is presented by Hayes & Son, and it is at every Colts home game at the new Bullseye Event Center directly across the street from Lucas Oil Stadium. Open premium bar, all-you-can-eat food by Food Network celebrity chef Aaron May. The Event Center is 9,500 square feet of event space with 3 retractable glass garage doors that open up to decks and green space with dramatic views of Lucas Oil Stadium. BEC is available for your private event, wedding, corporate event, social event, or nonprofit charity event. Visit bullseyeeventgroup.com.
The timeout is almost over. Jimmy Mad Dog Matus and Matt Taylor are coming back in 1 minute on The Last Word.
Sports are my life, getting out and being active. When I injured myself last year, my doctor referred me for an MRI at Center for Diagnostic Imaging. Their centers are easy to navigate with simple scheduling. My doctor even had my results back within 24 hours. CDI is the proud MRI provider of the Indianapolis Colts, and they helped me get back in the game. Where you go for your medical imaging is up to you. Go where the pros go. For more information, visit mycdi.com/IN. That's mycdi.com/IN.
All right, you have the perfect contractor for your project. Now it's time to get your concrete company. Have they called Shelby Materials? We stand behind our work and products. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. We only do quality concrete and aggregates. And we work with an experienced staff that cares. Need a stadium, parking lot, highway, or driveway? Remember, when you're ready to pour, Shelby has your back. We know concrete and aggregates. Learn what you need to know, shelbymaterials.com.
This is The Last Word, the off-season home of the Colts on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Want to continue to add defensively to the talent level on defense. I still believe you win games, with good defense at some point. Look, it was at a record pace this year, the numbers. It's incredible, what offenses are doing. But I just think that there's points in the season, and then when you get into playoffs, you're going to have to stop people. You got to get stops. That eventually is what is going to allow us to get over the hump.
Welcome back on The Last Word. That's Chris Ballard on the Dan Dockett Show a few weeks ago here on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. Now, you don't think defense is important in the playoffs? Ask the Rams if defense was important. They were held to 29 points fewer than their season average in the Super Bowl by the Patriots. And as it pertains to the Colts, they were very good down the stretch in the second half of the season. They ultimately finished 11th in overall defense, 10th in scoring defense, but the Colts still gave up over 30 points in 5 games, and they were 0-5 in those games last season. We're back on The Last Word. Jimmy Mad Dog Matus, I'm Matt Taylor. The Colts made some coaching changes this week. They signed Clayton Adams as assistant offensive line coach. On top of that, Marcus Brady has been elevated from assistant quarterbacks coach. He now is the quarterbacks coach. But the hire that catches the most eyes is that of Howard Mudd. Howard Mudd coming back to the Colts. He is now the senior offensive assistant. Mudd was with the Colts for 12 years as the offensive line coach from 1998 to 2009. A big reason why the Colts had all that success in the 2000s. They won the Super Bowl after the 2006 season. He's got over 40 years of NFL background as a player and a coach. And a guy that knows Mudd very well is Ryan Deem, who was on that Colts offensive line from 2001 to 2011. And Ryan joined us earlier this week to talk about his excitement to hear that Howard Mudd is coming back to the Colts coaching staff.
It's exciting news. Absolutely. He's one of the most, like you said, one of the most respected assistant coaches in the league. If I've heard it tossed around a few times, if there were a chance for assistant coaches to go in the Hall of Fame, he'd be on the short list. And I certainly agree with that. He's extremely knowledgeable of offense in general, especially offensive line play, clearly. But the knowledge base that he's going to bring to the team and his experience level is really unmatched across the league. So it's going to be an interesting fit. I think it'll be a good fit for a line that's seen some big improvement in the past year.
Ryan, you talked about his knowledge of offense in a complete manner, not just offensive line play. With that in mind, how did he make you guys better along the offensive line, given his mastery of everything else around him?
Sure. Back in our prime, in the 2000s, Howard, Tom Moore, Peyton Manning, were essentially our kind of trifecta of offensive coordinators. I mean, they essentially work together on the game plan every single day of every single week. And, Howard and Tom got along great, and their understanding of each other's knowledge, and obviously Peyton's ability to go really made us a pretty powerful force offensively. So that's kind of where I assume Howard's going to fit. This will be kind of an offensive consultant who's got a ton of experience with, different systems and just his vision of defenses and how to attack them, which should really add to this Colts offense.
Ryan Deem is our guest, and based off of what you saw last season for the Colts and given your time and experience around Howard, how and where do you think Howard can help improve or add to this offense for 2019?
Well, I think it's just his experience and his depth of knowledge. He will certainly bring a lot of that to the table. He's a guy who's been around the NFL for, gosh, he's got to be going on 50 years now. As a player, as a coach, as a consultant. He has been around the league a long time. He knows how to work with players. He knows how to fit in with his staff, and he certainly has such a great knowledge of the game. He'll be able to add a lot to Frank's offense and just, maybe see little nuances here and there that they can tweak or change or do a little bit differently to throw off the defense.
Ryan Deem is our guest, the former Colts offensive lineman. Howard Mudd was here 12 years with the Colts. In that time, the Colts allowed the fewest sacks in the NFL. I mean, Ryan, that has to be music to Andrew Luck's ears, considering he's already coming off a season where he was only sacked 18 times, the lowest amount